and welcome back to Howdy, y'all. Last time we had our... Somebody is taking off in a freaking rocket ship in their background. You're driving me insane back over there, boy. Mute yourself. Turn off your mic, thank you. Now, last time we had the boys of Boomtown at the Sweetwater and just recovered the body of Crazy Dave. A desiccated corpse out there on the power lines near the mountains to the north. When the boys brought the body back, old, who was it? That was Jessup. Jessup and Dickie decided to take a gander out at the old abandoned oil rigs. It was actually just a septic area. What they found was something that they didn't quite expect, and poor Dickie's three-wheeler paid the price. Now that we pick back up with the boys, we are at the Sweetwater, a little store in Boomtown out in the middle of nowhere. And boys, I turn it over to y'all. I'm looking at you.
All right.
So where are we right now? We're
at the Sweetwater.
We're in the store, right?
Yeah. So I would, what time of day is it still?
Yeah, probably.
We were eating
afternoon.
lunch.
Yeah, you're eating lunch, so afternoon.
We were eating lunch, yeah. So I go back into the Sweetwater and I come back out and I've got like 3 or 4 slices of like angel food cake. I'm like, who wants dessert? I got some like that Hershey strawberry syrup.
Now, I don't think you all heard me. Something out there ate that three-wheeler. And this is hardly the time to be eating lunch. And although that cake does look really good, can I get a piece of that?
Jessup, they ain't no time like the present to eat no angel food cake. Now, you scared. This right here.
Look, I didn't say I was scared. All right, I ain't no commie pussy. What I'm saying is, or pussy, whatever. What I'm saying is we got a problem. There's a problem out there. We got a problem. That little.
Jessup, where is this problem now?
Look. I'm not a magician. It isn't a rabbit in a hat, Sheriff. We're talking something's out there cruising, I don't know, under the ground, just waiting to swallow us up. Swallow up your constituency. What are you going to do about it?
I step out into the middle of the road and just peer off into the distance towards the oil rigs, just kind of scanning the horizon.
It's a good distance. I'm sorry, if you were going to say something, go ahead, please.
No, I'm just checking first to see if there's actually any sort of what they're describing, some mounds moving around under the dirt.
No, it's and the oil rig's pretty good distance away. You probably wouldn't be able to see them. Maybe just the top of one of the non-donkeys from where you're at. But no, you don't see much. Just the normal dust kind of kicking up throughout the day, and sun's beating down on you, and that's about it.
I walk out and Sheriff's standing there, and I kind of grab his shoulder, and I say, "You see that? You see in the back of Jessup's truck that dust imprint? That's my body, and that's where he saved me from the damn sand shark, whatever it was. It ate old Bessie the three-wheeler. Now what am I doing?"
Well, Dickie, I don't doubt that you did that part. I'm just not seeing this here. Now, what'd you call this thing? You said it was something burrowing?
Goddamn sand shark.
What'd you say, Tiki? Sand shark?
Sand shark.
Sand shark, yeah.
What do you say we finish off this dessert and we head back over that direction and bring a few rifles with us? We'll figure this thing out.
We'll need explosives.
I was going to say, Sheriff, if it's been burrowing holes, it should have left something.
So about this time, you hear some noise from the east, and your very best friend, that bitch Martha. She's walking down the main road, and she's got a little posse behind her, and you can see that she's kind of turning around and gesturing, and she's pointing towards the Sweetwater, and everyone's kind of looking a little stunned, and she's like leading them, like just marching forward like she is king shit, like she knows everything, and she's coming forward and she's heading over there towards the Sweetwater.
Jojo, why are you gonna let her
Don't-
lead your possums around like that?
Don't look now, Sheriff. Here comes bitch Martha and the minstrel militia.
So I just head towards her, still standing in the middle of the road because, there's no cars driving around here, and just wait for her to approach and see what she says.
So she comes up and everyone's whispering, behind her, and she's kind of got her arms crossed and she's like, "Can I help you, Sheriff?"
Well, what do you got going on here?
We're just going to the store. What do you think we're doing?
Looks like he's strutting like a tom turkey.
You shut your mouth, Shooter McLean! I'm one of God's children. You shut your mouth.
God's children, all right. Hope you'd go out there and wander in the damn desert.
Shooter, you're the devil himself. You shut your mouth. Go play with your boyfriend over there, Dickie.
Now, I need you to know, Martha, there's been some sort of animal around these parts. Seems to be chasing Jessup and Dickie there, so I need you to be careful.
The only
Keep your eye
animal
out.
that's chasing old Dickie there is Shooter. That boy's been trying to get his sweetmeats for a long time now, and you know that, Sheriff. Now shut your mouth and let me get through. I need to go to the store.
You just mad because I'm getting Dickie and you ain't. Gone somewhere.
I love it. Well, I love it when y'all fight over me. Keep going. Let's just keep going.
You listen here, Shooter McLean. Dickie done left his hat a few times in my trailer, okay? Thank you very much.
Oh, is that so? Dickie.
She don't know what she talking about. She just had them drunk nights. She's hearing them acorns fall on her trailer. She
yeah.
don't know.
See? Dickie can't
It's
even
that
talk right. He's
syphilis
over there
that's making
stuttering.
that crazy brain.
You might want to get yourself checked too there, Dickie. So, Sheriff, now, if you would excuse me, I need to go to the store. We're already here.
Store's closed, by the way.
You can't close the store in the middle of the day, Shooter
Store's
McLean.
closed, by the way.
Shooter
I own it.
McLean, you
I
cannot
can
close that store. Sheriff, this
Hey,
man is doing
hey.
illegal activities, closing that store in the middle of the goddamn day whenever that's the only place that people can buy stuff from here, and I need my goddamn utilities.
Martha, it's not illegal for Shooter to do what he wants with his store there. Now, we're gonna round up another posse again and head up to the oil fields because there's some sort of animal on the loose. We need to investigate.
So you see Cletus is kind of part of this group, right? The big boy. He stands out. He's a big kind of guy. He's one of the ones that does a lot of the work in the area. He's a very nice gentleman. And he says, "Sheriff, is it true that you found Crazy Dave?"
Yeah, it's true. Crazy Dave is no longer of this earth.
Sheriff, I reckon I'd like to come in there and pay my respects to Crazy Dave. That would be okay.
Now we'll wait to have a proper funeral. Crazy Dave's in no state for that right now.
And that's
I'm
when
sorry,
Martha
sir.
turns around and says, "You see this? You see this? He's trying to take over this town. Shooter McLean got the sheriff here, and he's trying
Somebody
to take over this
shut
town
her
and control this and control all of our activities and not let us do it.
At that-
Sheriff, I demand to speak to your supervisor."
At that point, I would have whispered to Bobo and said, "Tell your kin to get her." And I would have tried to summon possums to bite her ankles and run around her.
And I would look at whoever
roll
was
strange.
I would look at whoever was wanting to pay respects to Crazy Dave, and I'd say, "Sir, with all due respect, I'm sorry, the shop's closed." I like Martha's legs.
So, Bobo looks back into your eyes and just stares at you, like JoJo. And kind of you just see his little shoulders go.
I know.
Settles
I
back
know.
in.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Nobody wants to go near Martha. We all know that. I don't know why.
You shut your
Cletus is
mouth,
over there with her.
JoJo! JoJo, you smell like a goddamn possum yourself!
Them things.
I take that as a compliment compared to how you. Huh?
So at this point in time, you see that Elrod is a part of this group, the chip eater, and he kind of just walks around you, Sheriff, and heads towards the store.
Sheriff, I'm gonna bust his ass.
As he starts to walk around me, I don't even take my eyes off of Martha, just reach a hand out, grab his shirt, and then slowly turn my head and kind of push him back towards the crowd.
You all saw that, right? The sheriff assaulted me without due process. He didn't even read me my rights. You all saw that, right? And Martha's like, I saw him do that. Sheriff,
Everyone.
He's got you on videotape.
Now we've got some sort of animal loose around this town. It's gonna be dangerous around these parts for a bit. So everyone go back to your homes and stay there. You understand?
So you can just see Martha staring daggers at you, right? And
I take a couple of steps closer to her and just stare right back.
So she kind of like looks at you. She's short, right? She's looking up at you, and she's like, and then she looks over at Jessup. She's like, and then she looks back at you. She's like, so come on, y'all. They can't be here the entire day. Let's go. She turns around and she starts to walk away. So
before we leave, I want to rig up the store to where if anybody opens any of the two entrances, they'll get a bucket of water dumped on them.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna rig it up. Just hang on, Sheriff. I'll be right back. I gotta go get something. I'm gone for like 10 minutes or something. And I come back with a 12 gauge shotgun, a couple of them in case anybody wants one from out the back.
So as you're kind of gathering up shotguns and water bucket drops, everybody turns and starts to head away except for you see Annabelle. Dickie, you know Annabelle from the trailer park, right? She's definitely the trailer park queen. Lives with Lamb, who probably makes meth in his trailer, right?
She puts out that vibe though.
She's looking at you with that vibe, right? Kind of like, and then turns around and heads off too.
She looking at you through both holes in her teeth.
Just you wait. Just ask JoJo. He knows.
So they head off. They go to do their thing. Town's pretty quiet now. You see Betty Jo and her daughter kind of looking out from their house, kind of seeing what's going on, but they stay over in their area. Everyone's pretty much kind of keeping back now.
All right. Would I have a rifle in my Jeep? Or somewhere in the station, maybe?
Do a luck check.
Okay.
One of these songs is perfect.
Yeah.
So you actually have a rifle that you keep at the station, but unfortunately, given the last time that there was a couple of rabid animals that JoJo brought to your attention, you used all of your ammunition. So the rifle is definitely there, it's just out of ammo.
Okay. I'll grab that, hang it up in my Jeep. But if we have a couple of shotguns from the store, we'll take those with us. And I'm just finishing the lunch and heading up to the oil rigs to see if we can find any evidence of this thing.
Yeah, so Shooter, hold on a second, Dickie. Sorry. Shooter, go ahead and give me a luck check. Dickie, go ahead and say what you were saying.
When I see the sheriff gathering up weapons, I would mention to him that Dale and Norma, they might be able to help him out if he's looking for a certain type of device.
Well, now, Dickie, it's a mighty fine idea. And I'd step off to the side with Dickie. Now, Dickie, been rather helpful. I need a new deputy around town here.
I'm gonna interrupt you real quick, Sheriff, because I don't need anybody that I know, which is like 3 people, okay? I don't need them to know that I'm helping the government, okay? So, now, keep going.
Very well. Then you might want to keep this hidden for a bit, and I hand you a little deputy's badge. I need your help, Dickie. Now don't make me regret this.
Now they're gonna think I'm on the inside.
Oh, you are, in a sense. Now let's get back to work.
So I want to walk up to Dickie and just be like, Dickie, I know it may seem weird that you're on the inside, But you gonna get us some information for that Ghost to Coast. Get us some information.
I'll be damned, Shooter. You're the smartest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, listen here, boy. You the one fucking this cow. I'm just the one holding her tail.
It's a good idea. I like where this is going.
Good on you, boy. Let's go.
So, Shooter, you
Sheriff,
go back.
what you need me to do?
Sure, you go back into the Sweetwater and you lock up. You set up your buckets of doom. The only shotgun you have though is the one that you have underneath the counter. Unfortunately, you know you thought you had more. Maybe that bitch Martha stole them. I don't know. Maybe Elrod, whenever he's in there eating chips, pocketed them all. Who knows? But the only one you got is that one that was underneath the thing, underneath the counter.
So I would look around for a minute and I'd come back out and I'd say, Sheriff, I thought I had a couple shotguns, but I don't know, with all this random breaking and entering we've been having here lately, I think I only got one. So you just go ahead and take this. I think it might have 3 shells in it, 4 or something like that. I can't remember if I took tube out or not.
You got any shells, Shooter?
Can I roll for shells? Is that a thing?
Sure, go ahead. Roll luck.
Roll luck. Luck check inbound. Man, luck is my thing and I still can't get it.
Oh, what the hell's going on, dude? No, in fact, you think that you only got 2 rounds left in that bad boy.
Okay. So I look at him, I say, hey, you might want to check to see if it's got a tube in it, because if it's got the tube in it, it's only got 2 rounds in it.
It's all bitch.
Well, it's better than nothing, that's for sure.
How many shells I got, JW?
You have... Sorry, I'm looking. I got it in your thing. Sorry, let's see. So yours looks like it's a single shot, right? It's a breech open.
Yeah.
But we'll say you got 6 rounds for it.
Okay.
Is it a breakdown 12 or a breakdown 20 gauge?
Breakdown 12.
Oh, yeah.
No messing. So I reckon I still got some product in the truck, right?
Yep.
Making deliveries? Okay. So this stuff is highly flammable. We'll take this along with us. And in case we get thirsty, it doubles in that respect as well. So who's riding with who? Or is that with whom?
I just jump in my Jeep and wait for whoever joins me.
Well, I reckon you're the brand new deputy. You ought to ride with you, and I'll hop with you, Jessup.
Wait, what? Who's the deputy?
Don't you worry about it. It's fine.
So, wow. Okay, so, Deputy Ted, you're getting ready to jump into your Jeep there, and it kind of shakes for a second.
Where is my Jeep parked?
Your Jeep is parked on the side of the road in front of the Sweetwater.
Okay.
So it shakes.
Well, that's
just
strange.
a
It seems like it's acting up again.
And as you're about to put your foot inside of it, right, you're about to step in, you feel something hit the side of your leg.
I just look down and see what it is.
And as you look down, there's this big tumbleweed that has shotgun shells lodged into it, as if it's picked them up on its way through Boomtown, and it slams into your leg.
Huh.
And as it slams into your leg, 4 rounds drop out into the ground beside you, and then it just continues to bounce down the street.
Well,
Praise
look at there.
be. Lord,
Praise
give
be
us-
to our Lord and Savior, JC, Johnny Cash. Amen.
He surely does work in mysterious ways.
Well, thank God old Martha's like a good Old Testament woman was wandering in the desert with my damn shotgun shells.
I scoop those up and I toss them to. Well, who has the shotgun?
You do. I just put
Shooter-
it into your.
yeah,
I just
shooter
put it
gave
in
me
your.
I give
okay.
you the only good shotgun we had, Sheriff.
All right. So then I scoop those up and load them into the shotgun.
What about you, JoJo? Who you riding with? Or you driving?
I guess JoJo would just hop in whichever one's available, and whichever one would have the most room for his possum gang.
Sounds like to me you jumped into bed of our truck.
Sounds good to me. So we're heading out with 2 vehicles. Ready to go, Sheriff? I'll follow you.
Just
All right.
Your truck, does it have like the light bar in the back?
Oh, of course it does.
Right. I'm riding in the back of your truck, holding on to that yeet fucking hot.
Thought you were riding with your big boss man now,
Am
Sheriff
I?
Ted.
Did he ask me in that vehicle?
Well, old Shooter said it'd be a good idea for you to ride with the man that you're working for now.
Working for the man.
Disregard my last, please. I'm riding with the sheriff. High class.
Well, Sheriff, we're going to get this party started or what?
Yeah, once everyone's in, I rev it up and start heading down the road.
Yes, is on
So
the right.
you all head down the road then. I mean, that's just the way it goes. And so, it's maybe a 10-minute trip down the road. It's it's a couple miles away. It ain't too bad. And so you drive out there and you start to see the big derrick that was out there that's still filled with shit, and that it's people you see sometimes coming through town going to fill it up, and you see the rusted nodding donkeys and all that stuff, and that's what you're seeing right now as you approach.
Are there any like service ladders or anything on any of the equipment here? Something I could climb up and get an advantage point
Oh yeah,
on?
the oil rig the oil derrick definitely has one. While you're doing that, JoJo and Dickie and Shooter, give me a smarts check.
Would I be able to point out where I lost old Bessie?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You said smarts check, correct?
Yeah, I know. There's like 3 brain cells amongst a lot of you.
Hey, mine's firing today, JW.
I
Look
see.
there.
I see. Holy shit,
Oh,
Dickie Bennett!
look there.
Sometimes a man can just come through. I tell you, it's gonna be this white liquid, courtesy of Jessup Stills.
Preach, brother.
I'll be sending you a message on Discord.
Shit's got a bite bigger
Speaking
than
of-
a sand shark.
Speaking of Jessup, since I'm in the back of his truck, I kind of like open up the window that's in the back of the truck, and I pull out a vial from inside my overall or a little thing. But hey, Jessup, I'm gonna take a jar of this shine, and if you want to trade me for some of this possum milk I got here, I've been milking these possums all week. I had some good grade A quality milk there.
Well, you go ahead and hold on to that. But yeah, help yourself. Just remember, don't drink it all. We might have to, use it as explosives.
I just need a jar to share between me and Bobo here, and little Fred and little Ted and
Jojo, have you ever considered? Have you thought again about the business opportunity I discussed with you about possum jerky? I think you could really, lock up the market.
As soon as you say possum jerky, I cover Bobo's ears, and I'm like, "Listen, not now, not with all them here."
Oh, you're right. You're right. We'll talk later.
And about that time, as we're driving along, and the sheriff, he's clearly driving under the speed limit because he's a son of a bitch. But I kind of tug on him, and I'm saying, "Hey, sheriff," and I'm pointing kind of towards the east, and I say, "Look, there's Dr. Layla's truck, that hot doctor. She's driving away from the oil rig."
That it is. I kind of press on the brakes and reach around for my binoculars I got in the truck here, in the Jeep here, and pull those up and try and see if that's who is driving the truck.
Smarts check for that.
Jessup, you see that? You see that big old dust cloud over there? And I'm pointing toward the east, back away from the oil derricks, like looking back toward the lines.
I'm banking that luck, the public bank.
Public bank.
What do you see? What do you see, shooter? Where? Does it look like a mound? Is it moving?
I
Is
don't
it
know,
coming for us?
It just looks like a big old dust cloud. I can't make heads or tails or direction or what. It
You
looks a
can
little
tell.
weird.
You can tell that dust cloud is heading away from the oil rig towards the east.
Can you make it out anything through it? I can barely see through all the dust.
Sheriff Ted, you can see that there's a vehicle there, but you can't tell who's in it or who's driving it. Sorry, Jojo, did I cut you off?
No, I was just going to ask, does it look like it's heading for something in particular?
Smarts check.
Smarts check.
See, the nice thing, so while he's doing that, for our viewers, we're doing a little bit of a modification here on the Shiver rules where we're relying more on the players' rolls than anything in events to kind of tick the doom clock forward. So they don't have to worry about failing rolls and increasing the doom clock or spending luck to tick the doom clock down. Instead, what we have is this public bank pool where players can pull from the pool to add to their rolls, or if they want to, there's extra spends that are pretty high end. Like, for example, 20 luck points is a legendary item or a weapon. So that's how we're kind of dealing with this, because this is more like 80s kind of comedy horror going on. So Jessup, you can tell that it's a vehicle. You see that it's some type of a vehicle driving away from the oil rigs towards the east. It seems to be following the lines, but that's about it.
Now, who could that be? Or where are we right now? We've stopped. Did you say the sheriff got out?
Sheriff is looking at the. Sorry, I'm trying to do something here. Sorry. Is trying to move stuff, or I'm moving stuff. Sorry. My brain just went dumb. Sorry, give me a second here. The sheriff is just looking from his vehicle with his binos.
I pull up alongside of him. Now, something was said. I shout out over to Dickie Bennett. Hey, Dickie, you said you saw that biologist, or you saw her vehicle? Where?
Is she driving over there driving east?
Is that her?
Should one of us get there?
We should follow her, Sheriff. Sheriff, we should follow that biologist.
Yeah. Give me just a second here, and if I can't tell who's driving it, but then I scan behind and see if this truck is being chased like they described.
No.
Okay. So I put the binoculars away. Well, let's go get them. And I start driving off road and head that way.
So
Try to catch up with the truck.
Not too hard to catch up to the truck. You all drive away. Jessup in his moonshine mobile is able to keep up with you, and it's not long before you're right on their tail.
I flip on my. Do I even have lights and siren?
You have lights. you got
You
lights.
have a
Lights.
light.
You have. This is exactly what you have. All right. You have one of those whoopee lights that you can pull out and set on top of the thing.
Yeah.
And you have a bullhorn.
Okay. So I put that on the roof and start honking the horn.
So you're honking. You're honking your horn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to
cool.
get him to stop.
All right. Nice. That's good to know. You were gonna ask.
Making lots of noise, you know.
Making tons upon tons of noise. This is a good thing to
Need
know.
me use that bullhorn and make a siren? I'm pretty good at a siren.
Yeah, I hand it over to Dickie.
All right, Dickie, come on. Somebody get ready to clip this shit.
This is be fun. So I lean out the side of this here government vehicle, and I get it in the side, and I say, "This is the police!" Ree-roo, ree-roo, ree-roo. Oh, that hurt. I need a sip of the shine.
So it's obviously the intimidating siren that Dickie makes causes them to just pull over, and they just stop. They don't get out of the car though.
Shooter, keep your eyes open, man.
You
This is
stay
when
in
it's
the
gonna happen.
car.
All right, I pull up around the front of them and just stop right in front and kind of look through the windshield to see who's in the truck.
So you see You see Josh Jokewell is sitting there in the driver's seat, and Dr. T. Leela is sitting in the passenger seat, and she is just this is her face.
All right, so I put it in park, still in front of their truck, and get out and walk around to the passenger side. And before I start asking anything of them, do they have the same jurisdiction in the oil rigs?
Yes, they have been given free reign of the entire Boomtown and all surrounding areas.
All right, so I approached the passenger side real slowly, just looking at the doctor the whole time. Well, now, I see you were out at the oil rigs there.
Rolls down the window. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's mighty perspective of you there, Sheriff. You,
And we've got more reports of some sort of animal there. You know, I'd talked about this before, and you seem to pop up every time I'm finding something today. So, why don't you go ahead and tell me what's going on?
Well, Sheriff, I'd be happy to remind you that when we left you and after we helped you with your investigation, if you want to call it that, we helped you in your hill jacks here, and then we headed directly to the west. Where else would we be going, Sheriff?
What's she saying, Sheriff? Tell her she's in danger!
I look over at where's Jessup right now? Where you have your truck parked?
Yeah, go ahead. So I'll put. So we got the vehicle there, and so Jessup, you can move yourself to. So I will say that her vehicle's right here.
Yeah, then we'd be on the other side.
Okay, yeah, I would look at Jessup and point to behind their truck and say, trying to indicate park behind them so they can't get out.
What?
You park your truck so they can't leave, Jessup.
Can't leave what?
And the whole
Well,
time,
now she just can hear everything that you're saying, so it ain't gonna be no count. I mean, they're smart folk. They gonna figure it out eventually.
Figure what out? What's he saying, JoJo?
He's saying park it in the rear of their vehicle so they can't escape.
Rear? Now listen here, JoJo. You and I, we may be friends, but there's no call for that kind of talk.
Don't lie. You got excited when I said it.
Damn fool. All right, so I put it in reverse slowly and then just kind of come up behind her vehicle a little bit. How's that, Sheriff?
That's it. Good.
So what's she saying? Tell her she's in danger.
Doctor, what were you doing out there at them oil rigs?
What were you doing out there in them oil rigs?
So I cross my arms and lean close up on the
she
the
mimics
window there.
everything that you're doing. She's mimicking 100%.
And there are people's lives at stake here. You're going to tell me what you're doing out there.
So let me ask you questions first, Sheriff. What were you doing out here? Your job, right?
That's right.
I was doing my job. So maybe
What
I understand that traffic. I understand that traffic laws are probably unknown to you out here, but back in an actual city, we would say that people should stay in their own lane, right? Your lane is the health and welfare, if we could call it that, of the people of this fine city. My job is biology.
Now listen up. When people's lives are at stake out here, I'm trying to protect these people. They're claiming they're being chased by something that they don't understand. So you might want to rightly do your job and start fucking explaining what's going on here.
Excuse me? You need to watch your language, Sheriff. I think we can use without that type of language here, don't you?
By this point, JoJo would have walked around to Josh Jokewell's side, and Bobo, because Bobo wanted to see him, And so Bobo would have hopped on Josh Stokewell's shoulders there. And he would look at Dr. Leela and be like, now, Sheriff, Dr. Leela, there ain't no reason for us to get all up in arms. You know, Dr. Leela, you and I as friends, I thought, you know, you come around my ranch all the time, look at my possums, look at Bobo, his kin. Now, could you just help us out? We're just trying to get by and figure out what's going on in this town. That's all we're trying to do. We want everybody to be safe.
So Leela kind of is still staring at the sheriff, right? Because this is the challenge right now, and she's being challenged. She's a woman in the 80s that's establishing herself. It's a hard thing for them, you know, for folk to do back then. That wasn't that long ago neither. But Josh, on the other hand, right, has Bobo on his shoulder. And you have come up and talk about how you end up, you know, kind of dealing with them on, you know, a good case-by-case basis, and everything's nice. So go ahead and do a heart check with advantage. Sheriff, go ahead and do a heart check. We'll just say at regular.
So I have a question. Since I'm a whack job and I lose a skill die, does that negate the advantage? Because I lose a skill die when I'm trying to convince others. Because I'm a whack job.
Yes, that would remove the advantage. Go ahead. What were you saying, Sev? I'm sorry.
I have an intimidate skill to add +1 to a talent die. Does that count here?
Yes. So, Jojo, go ahead.
I'm going to bank that luck on my personal luck, since that's the very first luck I've ever rolled.
Congratulations. Okay, so you see Josh is about to open his mouth and spill every single bean that he has, right? And that's whenever I love the possum as well. So he's got Bobo sitting on his shoulder, and he looks like he's about to spill every single bean that he's got. And that's whenever Leela turns and grabs him by the arm and squeezes it, and you just see his mouth just clamp shut, right? And so she turns towards the sheriff, and they're mad dogging each other for a minute, right? And she says to Sheriff Ed, she says, Sheriff, in all honesty, if I knew anything that would help you in terms of protecting life, I would. There is something out here that we can't explain. It's new, it's different, and as far as we can tell, it's snake-like.
You talk about that bitch, Martha?
Jojo, as much as I detest that woman, no. As far as we can tell, it's snake-like. We've seen some very strange tracks in the sand, but that's about it. And it seems the tracks that we found were in between the dump and out there at the oil rigs. You caught us earlier, and we helped you. We were going out there to check it. We didn't find anything.
So you ain't actually seen this thing?
I don't think it's a danger. I think that maybe if this had anything to do with Crazy Dave, I think that maybe he just was scared of it. You know, no offense, Sheriff, but the simple folk have a tendency to get scared by things they don't understand. And so I think that it was just some, serpent that they might not see. Go ahead, Sheriff. Interrupt me. That's fine.
It is fine. Now, how long have you been out here doing this work?
I think this will be 3 months now.
Did you happen to think about setting up any sort of surveillance equipment? Trail camera?
She completely shuts down when you say that.
Yeah, simple folk thinking shit that the smart folks don't.
Just shuts down, completely closes her mouth, and just stares at you.
Can Shooter and I hear any of this conversation?
Sure, I'm not averse to keep any. I imagine you might have got out of the truck and tried to steal another 8-track.
No, I'm not getting out of this damn truck. Hey, shooter. Wouldn't the sheriff and the biologist make a lovely couple?
They surely would.
Hey! Kiss her, Sheriff!
Thanks for that, Jessup. Now, Doctor. Couple of my boys here saying that they saw this thing. It was big. It was chasing them.
Well, Sheriff, let's be honest about 2 different things here. 3 different things, actually. Who was it? Let's ask that first.
L. Ron Hubbard.
I'm asking the questions here, Doctor.
Well, you want information, freaking Sheriff. Sorry. You want information, I need some information of my own. That's the way science works. I can't tell you something without the appropriate information.
I understand. And I just lean back away and start walking towards my Jeep, slap their hood, and, send them on their way. Or act like that's what I'm doing.
Before he does that, I slip a vial of possum milk in Josh's pocket there. That's not from Bobo, but that's from Minnie Merle.
Did she have babies?
No, Minnie Merle's a man, but I still milked him, so that should be good enough for you.
Okay, Jojo.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks.
Thanks for that, Bobo.
You're welcome. Savor that now. That'd be good. That'd be good on a morning biscuit now. That'd be good on a morning biscuit.
Okay.
I promise.
So, Sheriff, she tell you anything useful? We done John or what?
Yep, let's head on to the oil rigs there. And I climb in the Jeep, give a little tip of my hat to the doctor, and start driving off slowly.
So we're going back the way.
Yep.
Now, Dickie!
Jesse.
Why didn't you tell her that it ate your 3-wheeler? I don't think that woman realizes the danger she's in. They all just talking, running their mouths. They could be dead, and it'll be on our heads because we didn't tell her.
So, when it comes to extra, I think she's with the CIA or maybe even the FBI. So we need to be careful what kind of information we're sharing with them. Okay? So
Those are big letters even for you,
hold-
Dickie.
Right now, we hold the pieces to this checkers game, okay? And if we can control the information, we can control her.
I'm losing my damn mind. I swear to God. Am I the only one who's taking this serious? It ain't your 3-wheeler.
It did. Yes, it did, Jessup.
And you all
Yes, it
talking
did.
government conspiracy, right? Okay, government conspiracy. That's possible. I think it's
Yeah.
the corporations myself. They're breeding something out here for who knows what. It doesn't change the fact there's something dangerous out here. And we are withholding information. We should be sharing information. We should be warning the populace. And we should be arming ourselves. And I don't even know. I don't even know.
Listen, if they's breeding something, doesn't that mean we should just get to breeding something ourselves? I mean, we're already breeding possums out here. What else can we breed? You know what, Bobo? Let's go talk to them raccoons down there, that raccoon gang, and we'll go ahead and get a part of them. Yeah.
Bobo hisses
Has
at
a possum. Don't hiss at me. We can get us a possum coon gang going on. Mixed breeding and everything else. All right, fine. I'll leave you alone. I'll squash the subject, Bobo. I'm sorry.
He's tender with you again.
Did the doctor seem to care at all that we just kind of left without telling her any more information?
Do a heart check. Let's see if you can pick up on what her response was whenever you did that.
I wouldn't have been close enough to have seen her facial expression whenever she decided to shut up about the.
Sure, I'm fine with that.
Did she did she like look in any specific direction? Almost like whenever you mentioned recording or setting up surveillance or anything like that. Did she make any sort of like an indication?
Do a heart check.
Oh, nice.
Ted, you can't tell exactly.
Oh, of course.
The one time you needed heart, you get smarts.
Yeah.
Ted, there wasn't any. How do I put this? You don't have enough successes to get exactly what the feeling was, but it wasn't anger at you for not sharing information. There was something else there, though. There was another feeling there, and you just can't pick up on it. But she wasn't like, oh, they're not telling me things. I need to know these things. She didn't even seem to care too much about that you left.
Okay, so she knows a lot more than she's saying. All right. So I would just pull up to Jessup, or I guess we already did, sitting next to him. Y'all ready to head over to them oil rigs? We're gonna take a look at wherever you said this happened at.
Wherever I said this happened at.
Sheriff, why? She said it goes between the dump and the oil rig. Why don't we split up? Jessup takes his team to the dump. I'll take you to where our incident occurred, and Jessup saved my life. That way we can kill two birds with one stone.
Man's got a point. I do like two stone birds.
It's a mighty fine idea. Let's go ahead and split the party here.
Did somebody say stone? Y'all got smoke?
I might. Sheriff,
Right.
also,
We gonna have a good time tonight, Bobo.
the little science lady seemed to choke up when you mentioned surveillance. They might be something out here that we don't know about. Just so you know.
Hey, JW, which way did she head? Has she left?
She left. She headed toward the east.
Is she heading towards? So she's following the lines. She's heading towards the dump as well.
Yep.
Well then, let's just follow her. Mount up, boys. Time to get serious. And I shove in the John Bon Jovi 8-track tape.
I love it.
Where, before I forget about them, where are the houses of whoever Dickie mentioned? I forget the name now. Was it Ned?
Oh, you talking about the Dale and Norma Blakely?
Oh, there it is. Dale's bunker. All right, just so I know for later. But I would head over to the oil rigs while it sounds like Jessup is following them east.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yep.
Do our vehicles, are they equipped with a CB radio?
Nope. But you know what, Dickie? Dickie. This is a much more friendly game than Night Shift. Go ahead and do a luck check. I'm not saying I was trying to kill everyone in Night Shift.
Yeah, you were. And you succeeded!
I did! And it wasn't even me! It was Tony! He killed the last person!
Damn.
Nope. Sorry, there's no CBs. In fact, as Jessup drives away, his 8-track goes out.
What? Son of a bitch, boys, this is going to be a long and lonely trip.
Make them like a...
So, let's, Ted, give me high or low.
Hi.
All right,
Nice.
let's handle you first then. So tell me about heading back towards the oil rigs, Ted.
Well, I would just head to wherever Dickie tells me to first, and then look around that area. And then the plan is to, after we're done looking at that area, climb up on that highest point around here and kind of just look around and see if I find anything. I'm also the whole time wondering, like, kind of looking around at any equipment to see if I noticed cameras and stuff.
So let's start with the cameras. Do a smarts check.
And I would tell Dickie, "Now, Dickie, I need you to keep your eye out for anything strange, and especially any cameras, surveillance equipment.
Okay, Sheriff, I can do that. You got an extra pair of those eyes? Bring the binoculars.
I would just hand them to you because I'm driving.
So, Ted, how you wanna spend that luck?
I'm just going to public bank everything unless I say otherwise.
Okay. So, Dickie, go ahead and do a smarts check.
Okay. And it includes my talent dice, right? Automatically.
Yeah, it should include it automatically. Also, you got a little quiet there for some reason, Dickie. Oh,
Sounds
Dickie,
good right now.
Dickie. So, Sheriff, you don't really notice too much as you're driving around, Sheriff. You drive right by the area where Dickie's Bessie got sucked into the ground, but because Dickie's not really paying attention to that, he's looking around, and he kind of points towards the oil rig. You notice something up there, Dickie. Like, there's just something very, very off up top of that oil rig. The derrick. Sorry, it's not a rig, it's a derrick.
When you
All right,
say,
So I would just park right here, in the area where he says that his three-wheeler got eaten up. So I park, and I'm looking around there, and I guess, Dickie, you're just looking around, so you do whatever you want.
when you say it looks off, it just doesn't look like it's part of the.
From down on the ground, like, this is you would have missed this if you hadn't rolled 3 successes. Like, this is that how difficult it is to see what's going on. You notice that there is something off up top. There's just a discoloration at the top of the oil rig, but you can't see it from where you are. But you know that something is off up there.
So I'm standing there, and I got the binoculars, and I'm kind of looking around, kind of zoom in there on Sheriff's face, just because it's so handsome. Then I kind of go back, and I'm looking up, and I'm looking at it, and I peel them away, and I look at it again, and I say, "Hey, Sheriff, come here a minute. I need you to see if I see what I'm seeing."
All right. What is it, Dickie?
So up in there on the top, it looked like I thought it was a bird at first. It was all discolored like, but it don't belong up there. And I only know that because I saw pictures once in a Lifetime magazine. So here, he kind of hands the binoculars to him.
Yeah, I take him and look up there, and, well, can't quite tell what that is myself. Why don't you climb on up there, check it out, and I'm going to stay down here and see if I see any other signs of this thing.
Okay.
While you're up there, take a look around, see if you see this thing. Look for any other of those. I guess you said there's big mounds it leaves behind.
You'll know when it's coming because that ground is going to shake. It's going to shake worse than Martha's bed on Christmas Eve. So I'm gonna head up there and see what I can see.
So you're staying down on the ground, Sheriff?
Yeah, I'm looking around on the ground for any sort of signs of this thing, or where his three-wheeler got swallowed up.
All by yourself, right?
Or maybe any other little fangs or yeah.
Just check. Let me handle Dickie. If you get my drift.
And
first.
I do have that shotgun. Does it have a sling on it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I've got that slung over my shoulder too, just to be clear.
Okay. So, Dickie, you climb to the top of the oil rig, and you have that kind of girder that goes around, or the railing that goes around, right? Because this is a legit company that could have afforded railing, even if people would be leaning on it. And it's rusty, right? Like, I mean, first off, the stuff, it smells really bad because you're at the top of basically a giant septic tank. And the railing is all rusted except for in one area. it has been cleaned off very, very carefully, and it looks like it's an area cleaned on the front, and then it's almost like two bands were wrapped around the entire bar. Like maybe something was being held there, and it looks to be, that area looks, you know, considering the time period, looks to be about what the size of a camera would be. It looks like there was a camera mounted here.
So kind of like straps that would be so underneath is just...
Yeah, so there's the whole front of the railing is clear, and then the area where the straps were has been cleaned off as well.
Okay. Do I see anything else like laying around immediately on the ground, or maybe fell or somebody dropped it, anything like that?
So given your level of success with that roll, yeah, there is there's a ratchet, and it has the initials JJ engraved into it.
See a ratchet in old Dickie's hip pocket. Now that I'm up here and I've secured evidence, I'm gonna take those binoculars and we're just gonna do a scan of the immediate area and possibly the horizon more towards the east, where the dump site is.
Okay. Go ahead and do another smarts check, Sheriff. Down there at the bottom, you're looking around, and go ahead and do a smarts check. Let's see what you see.
Okay.
Back into the pool again.
Yep.
Okay. You're pretty dumbfounded down there. You can't even, like, the mounds that they're claiming are that was chasing them. You don't see any mounds. There's no mounds there. It doesn't look like there's any raised ground, and the fact that, you know, Dickie was paying attention to everything going on around him versus you know, showing you where the three-wheeler was sucked into the ground. You're not even 100% sure where that area is. You know you're in it, but you don't see it. Dickie, up top, you are looking off to the east, and you kind of see what's happening over there with Jessup and the truck. So we'll come back to what that is. Sheriff, before I take a pause on you guys and move over to Jessup, is there any last thing you want to do before? I mean, we'll come back. Like, we're going to come back to you, but I want to get the other.
Nope. I would just be searching around there, and when I don't find anything, start heading back over to where Dickie is. So nothing else.
So Jessup, over there in your pickup truck where the 8-track's just gone out because Dickie can't roll for shit. What are you trying to follow Dr. Leela? Or are you trying to catch up to her?
I wouldn't call it following. We just happen to be going in the same general direction at the same general speed.
You trying to keep any type of distance between you two? Like, I mean, are you trying to be nut the butt? You trying to keep her in the front sights? What are you doing here?
I figure we're about, I don't know, half a dozen car lengths behind her. We're just driving along the lines, and I'm making a point of looking up at the lines, looking at the horizon. If she can see it, I presume for this distance she can kind of see us in her rear view. I'm being nonchalant, as nonchalant as you can be.
Listen, you're flying casual.
Exactly.
Okay. She turns to the right, towards the south.
I let her turn to the right. We keep going along the lines.
Okay, and she heads towards the south, and she keeps going south. So I'm going to use shooter here. Actually, do I have any extra tokens? Yeah, I'll use the template.
Hey, Jessup, don't worry about that 8-track going out. We can make our own music. You see that mountain over there? I'm going to climb that mountain someday. Oh, play me some mountain music like Grandma and Grandpa used to play.
I reach
Come
out,
on, shooter.
And I just slowly close the slider, the window to the back of the pickup.
And I'm still singing, and me and Bobo are dancing in the bed of the truck.
Sorry, just a minute.
So we see anything, JW?
Just her heading to the south, and you're driving along the lines here, and so we're probably getting like this, and she's heading towards the south.
Okay, I'm gonna look for a landmark, right, off either the hills or the post or something, so we can keep in mind where she turned off and come back after we hit the double back and see where she went.
So it seems like
Is
she
that possible?
she turned south, just basically, if off to the east, it's literally where she turned south. So just past the area where the city would be if she turned south, so she's skirting outside of the city to the south.
Mark this point, shooter. We'll double back later and we'll see what she's up to.
Understand. Gotcha.
So y'all heading to the dump then?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dickie, you end up seeing. Sorry, I just saw AWZ's message on chat. Dickie, you end up seeing Leela heading towards the south. And she kind of gets out of distance of what you can see whenever she starts to get closer to the city. So, you guys head to the dump. It is the dump. Like, this place is flush with raccoons and possums. Every bag that's ever been brought here, ever, in the entire lifetime of this town, has been ripped open and eaten from. Maybe by possums, maybe by JoJo, maybe by Bobo, we are not sure. But one way or another...
I try to find a purple rag or like a purple bandana that's been thrown out. Okay. And once I do that, I tie that around Bobo's head and be like, we coloring up now. We gonna go in. We gonna go in. We gonna tell them this is our town. This is our town, Bobo.
So I stop on the edge of the dump.
Hold on, I fucking can't.
I stop on the edge of the dump. Apparently JoJo jumps out and starts rummaging about. I climb up on the hood of the pickup, and I just do a little surveilling, as it were.
Smarts check.
Nope.
So you can use those 2 lucks to get a success, or you can bank both of those.
Success.
Okay. I'll give me 1 second to figure out what the rest of this party here is doing. Shooter?
So I would have got out of the truck, and as they were rummaging around, I'd kind of be doing the same thing that Jessup was doing. Just be kind of looking around, seeing if there was something that looked off, something that maybe would show signs of maybe something bigger than your average rodent, like it tore into this stuff or anything like that. Anything out of the ordinary that just looks weird.
Go ahead and do a smarts check.
Nice.
Hey, shooter, I found some strings over here if you need some for your banjo.
Found banjo strings?
Yeah, banjo strings.
Oh, son, I've been looking for some of them. Mine's been out. Who throws away
it's about half of
banjo
one.
strings?
So
it's about half of one.
Those are all broke. Well, what's? Damn it, you damn fools!
Everybody knows the top string's half as long anyway. Throw it up there.
So, Shooter, you and Jessup kind of work together, right? You're looking for anything strange, whatnot. And what you find is the old campground that Leela was using, right? And you're kind of rummaging around there. It's kind of easier to tell because, like, there's bags of garbage nearby that are in really nice plastic bags versus...
Now, hold on, JW. Where's this campground in relation to the dump?
Nearby. It's really close to it.
Okay.
And it's actually the trash that's next to the dump that kind of starts to draw your attention. So it's the two of you working together that kind of help find this. So you're digging around, you're looking around, and you move some of the trash, and underneath that trash is something that you don't think you've ever seen before. Both of you do a strange check for fear check.
You say a strange check for a fear check?
Yeah, so you're doing a basically being afraid check.
Okay, so just so you know, I have a flaw that it says I lose 1 skill die from my dice pool to all fear checks.
So for your fear check, do it at disadvantage.
Okay, can I do that in the auto roller?
Yes.
Yeah. Sweet. Strange, disadvantage. There you go.
Shooter, you go ahead and mark yourself up to the afraid status. Jessup, you have just you're just too jaded, man. You've just been around the block, buddy. You know what you're doing. So
he's pissed enough at his 8-track being broke that he can't be mad. He can't be nervous for a second because he's pissed.
So there's a snake underneath of this thing, and it's probably about that big around, but it's short. It's maybe like 5 feet long. So it's about yay big around, but it's only about 5 feet long. And it doesn't look like any snake that you've seen before. Most snakes in this area have a what is it? Copperback? It's copper something. Copperhead pattern, right? Where they have the kind of the almost triangular pattern across their hide. And it's meant to blend in with the desert. This is really strange too because it's not covered in scales like a snake is. I almost said dragon. So used to fucking playing other games. It's fleshy. It's like skin. The best thing, it's like a sack of skin in a tube. It's like a big hot dog.
Son of a bitch!
With a mouth at one end, and so there's other things that could possibly be determined from this, but that's what you, with your guys' successes together, that's what you found.
So as I'm digging through all these bags, and Jessup just kind of sees me looking through, and all of a sudden you hear me go, "Oh!" And he might think I like turn around like I found something nice, and all he sees is me grab this thing by the tail, raise it up, and just look at it and fling it. I'm like, "Oh, fuck, boys! 2 things I don't fuck with: that's snakes and condoms. Hell no!" And I run back to the truck.
It was heavy, by the way, Shooter. It was fucking heavy.
I go retrieve this thing. We're taking this thing with us.
As soon as that happens, I jump up. Bobo jumps up in my arms, and I go, "All right, where you at? Damn it, I got a possum and I ain't afraid to use it. Show yourself."
He
I'm gonna grab this
Bobo.
thing.
Bobo is armed and dangerous, but the rest of your possums have scattered.
How heavy could you surmise that was picking it
Probably
up?
80 pounds.
80 pounds?
It was heavy as fuck. Like, so it's 5 foot long, about that big around, and you probably could have strained yourself. Like,
did it have eyes or anything? Like, I mean, this is just
well, you're in the truck, buddy. You didn't see shit. You saw a big tube snake, right? Like big dick just hanging out in the desert. You picked it up, you threw it, and you ran. Now, Jessup, on the other hand, you were saying that you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I'm dragging this thing back to the pickup.
Okay.
When I get to the pickup, somebody give me a hand with this.
I'm inching forward with Bobo outstretched like a shotgun. And
come on, Jojo, give me a damn hand.
So this is actually semi-important. Jojo, as you get close, right? You got your Bobo shotgun. Bobo rolls over in your hands and begins to stink really bad. And
Bobo, I know you ain't no damn skunk. Come on now, what the hell are you doing?
It's just laying there in your hands like this.
Quit playing dead now. I need you.
Doesn't move.
And all your little babies ran away.
Doesn't move.
Right? I try to lift my legs.
I kind of stuff them in my bibs, in my overalls. It's all right, Bobo. Just relax. And
So
I kind of look and
see you. Your face is here, and Bobo's is just like.
yeah.
Jessup, you go ahead. Sorry, Jojo. And then Jessup, I got
go
you.
to try and help Jessup. Is it alive, Jessup?
This thing's dead. Whatever the hell it is, I'm not even sure it's a complete animal. Where's its head? It just don't look right. I think we might have like a piece of it. There might be a piece missing. Here, help me lift this up. Lift with your legs. Have I got a tarp or something?
Yeah, sure.
JW? Yeah, I wrap it in the tarp. And damn it, Jojo, you keep them damn possums away from it. They don't need to be nibbling on it.
Well, Bubba deathly afraid of it, apparently, but he just keeled over on me.
You know what I say?
It's all right, Bobo.
We need to go find that biologist. I said we head back to where she turned off. We head south and let her have a look at this.
Well, I reckon she probably already saw it. Maybe she was the one that threw it away.
Well, I don't know that it was. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good. Well, let's go find out. The sheriff, he talks too much. I think they got something going on, the two of them. We just need to confront her and say, what the hell is this?
But y'all keep this thing in the front of the truck. I don't need that in the bed with Bobo.
I'm sorry, Jojo. The way this thing smells, it's not coming up in the front.
You know what? I got an idea. Why don't we just attach that thing to the trailer hitch?
And drag it along?
And just drag it along. Just drag it along.
Yeah, that's fine if we're going like 3 miles an hour. And if we pick up speed, we're losing it. That's not going to work.
All right. Bobo's got to come into bed with this. I'm sorry, buddy.
You see Shooter kind of like he gets in the back of the truck and kind of lassos up some little bit of rope, and he's just like, tie it to the hood, anything. Jesus, just roll the windows up.
Come up in front with us. We can squeeze in. I'll put the shine in the back. It'll be fine.
All right.
In the shine with no meat snake.
Right.
I don't even want to look at it.
So
I ain't gonna eat potted meat for a month after this.
Put it in the back, JW. The 3 of us, the 4 of us, squeeze into the front. I put the shine in the back as well. And we turn back towards the east.
Okay. Let me pop over to the other crew. So you got Dickie up at the up on top of the oil derrick. You have the sheriff down on the ground. What are you guys doing?
Once I had finished everything up there, I'd climb down. I'd climb down to where the sheriff was coming from, where old Bessie had met her fate. And I'd say, "All right, Sheriff. So here's the thing. There was a camera, and it was mounted up there. You can tell the bar. You can see where the straps they kept the moisture and the rain out, because they ain't rusted. But the rest of that bar, it's rusted. Something was strapped to it, and I'm telling you, it was probably surveillance. And as I was coming down." You said Dickie earlier, so I want to make sure I'm not OPing here. You said Dickie noticed there's the dock drive south.
Yes, you did notice that she turned off towards the south.
Okay. And as I was climbing down, I just kind of glanced out towards the dump, see where the boys were. Saw that doctor. She peeled off and she went to the south.
Well, Dickie, good work. I knew there was a reason I picked you.
So I pull this out. This ranch was laying up there too. Kind of hands up. Maybe you take some fingerprints off of it. I only touched all of it. It ain't no big deal. So you find
JJ on
better
it.
fate?
No, I can't say I rightly see any sort of evidence of a burrowing creature around here.
Would I be able to go back and do a final check? Be like, this is where you look?
Yes, you can go ahead and do a smarts check.
Okay.
No, I don't know if you just shit your pants and can't rightly remember. You just can't figure out where your three-wheeler went to ground. I mean, you could spend the luck to try and re-roll that if you want. Right? You got 5 luck banked. You could spend 3 to do a re-roll.
Y'all think it's worth it?
Up to you. You can do it if you want.
I'll hold off. Hold off.
Okay. So you can't find it. Your three-wheeler is gone to the mist, as it were. So what's left for you here?
Well, I just start climbing back into the Jeep. Well, Dickie, let's get on out of here.
All right, we can do that. So, I think we can get some information there, Sheriff, from her counterpart. We just gotta play it right, and I think I could use Shooter to get the job done.
All right.
Find them. I'll talk to them.
There's definitely something that they know that they aren't telling us. Let's go catch up with the others at the dump.
So are you heading out to meet up with them?
Yeah, I just start driving east.
Okay.
I'm going to take the road, though.
Okay, so you're going to go like this?
Don't want to put on unnecessary wear and tear.
You mean make a lot of noise?
Yeah, that too, maybe.
Okay. So you're heading along the road.
So as you roll up, you'd see Shooter around the back of the truck, and he's just like throwing up and shaking. He's like, oh, fuck that.
I just
Bobo,
pull up.
is Bobo still stinking?
Yes, Bobo is still. Are you still anywhere within 10 feet of that thing?
Where did we put it? Did we put it in the trunk?
It's in a tarp in the trunk. Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'd be in the front.
It still just it just smells awful.
Damn, Jojo,
Shoot.
What's that smell?
Well, you know what they say when you die, that you shit yourself? Possums kind of do that to like ward off people when they're playing dead, playing possum. But I got to check my bibs later because I probably got shit all up and down my damn overalls right now.
Where are we, JW? Have we already left the dump, or are they coming up before we left?
You're at the dump. They're coming up.
Are we about to take off?
Yep.
Well, there goes my plan.
What'd you want to do?
I wanted to catch up with the biologist before the sheriff caught up with us.
Yeah, that's it's considering travel time, right? And you guys searching around and getting this thing loaded. They weren't out at the oil rigs very long. They would be coming up probably about the time that you're getting ready to load up and head out.
Did we notice the truck when we drove through town?
No.
All right, change of plan. I get back out of the pickup. I see the sheriff driving up. I wave him down.
Yeah, I pull up next to you. Just roll the window down. And did you find anything, Jessup?
Sheriff, you're going to want to see this. Come around the back of the pickup.
All right. And so I get out and follow him.
Get out also.
Dickie and Ted do a strange check for fear.
All right, I got something to help with fear. I re-roll any heart symboled on fear checks.
Okay.
Brace yourself, gentlemen. It's not a pretty sight. And pull back the tarp.
So, Dickie, you and your Ghost to Coast show and all the research you've done has just made you immune to the horrors that you see inside of the back of this truck with Tube Snake. Ted, you are now afraid. You're a college man. You shouldn't be seeing this kind of stuff.
What the hell is... What is this thing? Where'd you
Sheriff?
find this?
Well,
You guys smell that? This smells. Who left Martha's pants in this truck? Jesus.
well, we were digging around in the dump. Not as much fun as you might think. And we found this over by the old campground that that biologist was using. So I don't know if she was involved in some way, if she's seen this, but we've got a situation here, Sheriff.
I would kind of reluctantly get a closer look at this thing and see if it's, a full body of it or if it's just the shedding, if I can gather any information like that.
Okay, go ahead and do a smarts check. Make
Does
sure you
it
include your
remind
afraid
me
status.
Of
Yep.
the worm, if I saw any parts or pieces of it.
It does not.
I want to
So-
convert both of those into a success.
So, Ted, you're looking at this thing now that you're kind of taking a deeper look at it. It has it's long, it's muscular, and it's fleshy, right? At one end there's a mouth. At the other end is its other end. It just seems like it's like the tail, right? It has no eyes. It has a mouth, and it has a rather large anus in the back. Okay? There are big fangs in the mouth, and there are horns on top of the head. What's strange about it is that
It looks just like that bitch Martha.
it looks just like that bitch Martha. It's not doesn't appear oily, so you can't sell it for snake oil. But its gut is open. Like it wasn't that it was dissected. It's like this raggedy hole that seems like it was dug out of it, like from the inside out.
But it doesn't look like just the shedding. It looks like an actual.
It looks
animal.
like an animal.
Hey, Dickie, did you catch a sight of what it was that swallowed up your three-wheeler?
It just looked like one of them there sand sharks. Not really
Well-
good look, I was just Superman in the back of your truck. So
Well, here's my point, gentlemen. If you'll hear me out, here's my point. So I reckon that it was one of these, but it would have been a lot larger to take down that three-wheeler. This thing is heavy, and it's large enough, I'll grant you. But large enough to take down a three-wheeler? No, sir. So if we got one here, and we got a larger one out there, I think we got multiple bogeys, gentlemen.
think there's one of its kin.
Or one of its children.
Well, it looks like something came out of the insides of this one.
We're talking an infestation. I think we're going to be suffering a whole lot of hurt very shortly.
Well, I'm thinking we need to show this to the doctor.
I think we need to get the hell out of town. Is that road still closed, JW?
Road is closed for another 3 or 4 days.
You know what's going to be coming out of this gas here? Us. That's what's going to be coming out. Which doc are you talking about? You talking about biologist? You talking about old Doc? Oh, what's his name on the other
White.
south side of town? White.
Doc White.
Now, I'm talking about that biologist. Maybe with this as some sort of collateral, we can come to an agreement. I'm sure she knows something that we don't.
Well, she's not going to be able to deny it with this evidence right staring her right in the face. I think it stares. Does it have eyes? I don't see any eyes. Did you pass her coming up this way?
Don't reckon I did.
No,
So
we
she
saw her
wasn't in
driving
town.
south.
She wasn't in town and she wasn't on this road. Well, then I reckon we drive back along these lines and then turn off where she turned off.
All right, you lead the way, Jessup.
So I jump back in the pickup and I put that plan into action, JW.
When I get back into my Jeep, I just grab the wheel and close my eyes and just take a deep breath for a second and try and, stabilize myself after seeing that thing and being scared of it. It's just an animal, so we can deal with this.
Do another
when he-
strange check.
When I see him do that, I say, Sheriff, It's all right. You're going to be all right. And I kind of hand over some of Jessup's finest. And I say, you've seen worse when you've been in Martha's trailer. So just take a nip at this, and it'll right you. Okay?
All right, I take a sip. Thank you, Dickie. You're a mighty fine deputy.
You know I've been keeping track of how much you guys have been drinking, right?
Good.
I'm just letting you know.
This stuff is 80 proof. I'm just letting you know.
So, Ted, you're no longer afraid.
Cool.
So, heading out? Everyone driving out? Anything else? Okay.
Shooter,
Yeah.
do you reckon you can pick out the spot where she turned south?
Yeah, I'm still kind of trying to make sense of what I saw. So I might be able to. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think so.
Hey, JW, just how far outside of town are we?
The dump is, I don't know, probably, let's see here. So it's probably about 3 to 4 miles from the town to the rigs. So probably about 5 to 6 miles out of town.
Okay. So it is possible that she's gone to ground somewhere between here and town. It's not like we would see her if she was north of town automatically.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Cool. So this isn't a fool's errand necessarily, right? Then we're looking for that turnoff where she headed south.
Let me do something really quick and just see if this will make it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good distance. Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. That works. So each grid square is about a half mile. Cool. All right. Yep. So you drive out to the west. You turn off. Start heading south.
Now keep your eyes open, gentlemen. She's got to be here somewhere.
So for those who are not, sorry, go ahead, JoJo.
And well, you just noticed JoJo's not paying attention. He's looking down at Bobo, and he said he stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door. Sorry, this is his favorite song, Jessup, and this is the only way to get him out of this stupor.
You do what you need to do. I can reach some shine through the window if you're needing some.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then he pulls out a shine bottle from his thing, and he just starts dabbing it on Bobo.
So
and he takes a big swig himself.
The shine ends up kind of getting him to start moving again a little bit, but like he's barely moving. Like he doesn't, because he's trying to play dead, but I mean he's getting his favorite song, he's getting alcohol.
And just for the audience, no actual animals were harmed in the making of this stream.
Except for that bitch Martha.
Poor Martha. She's just misunderstood. So you turn off to the south. You start heading south. So for anybody not driving, go ahead and do a smarts check.
I would be trying to shake off my afraid status as well. So whenever
how are you doing that? Talk to me.
So I'd be sitting over there and like kind of thinking about all the stuff that we've studied on Ghost to Coast and kind of being like, I don't know, man, we've seen worse. I've seen all kinds of pictures. I mean, I get it. This is the first time I've ever seen something in person, but I'm all right with it now. I just thought it was a regular snake at first. I don't like snakes. I can deal with aliens, but I can't deal with no snakes.
Go ahead and do a strange check.
So I've been doing this wrong the entire time. I forgot that I have a talent, a skill called intoxicating knowledge. When making smarts checks to investigate your surroundings, I gain a +1 talent die. Or I'm sorry, I can use my luck pool instead. The information may be hazy, but I gain a +1 talent die to resist the effects of toxins and poisons, either helpful or harmful.
Go ahead and do a luck check then. So when I call for smarts check, whenever you're looking through your environment, you go ahead and do your luck.
All right.
Oh, so many strange symbols. Dickie, the only thing as you guys are kind of driving through, you don't really notice much. You guys kind of head by Whispering Pines. You can see that bitch Martha out there in the middle of the trailer park, and she's got a small crowd around her.
So we didn't find the doctor.
Not yet. Hold on. So you're heading towards the south. Jojo, you're kind of keeping an eye out as you go through the town, and you notice that it's just like it's kind of hard to explain. Maybe it was the wind. Maybe it was deliberate. But you were kind of following a path, and now that path, that trail just seems to be gone. It's like, did she up and vanish? Did she stop and cover up her tracks? Did the wind just happen to pick up and blow the tire marks off?
It's something either?
It's something weird. Like you would be on this side of the town whenever you notice that, Jojo.
Hey there, Jessup. This is weird. We ain't seen no hide or hair of tracks coming through here. And I say, lick your finger and stick it out the window there and see if you can tell which way the wind's blowing. Because it seems like something odd's going on.
I stop the pickup.
Okay.
And I step out very hesitantly and take a look around. So this is right where it stopped, right where the track stopped?
Yep. So you are outside of the vehicle.
I am.
Okay, so you're standing outside. I'm just making sure that I understand this correctly. Like, I just want, just to make sure.
You understand correctly.
That way nothing happens and we can't go back, right? You are standing correctly outside of the vehicle. Okay, do a smarts check.
I got a luck earlier on that strange check if you want to put that on the public bank.
That's my smarts check.
Something just don't feel right, Jessup. Track's gone. The wind's blowing pretty hard. Maybe that's what it was. But the tracks are just gone.
What do you gentlemen think? I imagine that the sheriff pulls up alongside us and says, Sheriff, track stop. What do we do now? Do we keep heading south? She could have turned off into town.
They stop. Do they stop at the road there? I would park and get out and kind of look around the ground myself, see what he was talking about.
Okay, go ahead and do a smarts check, but we're going to put it at disadvantage.
Okay.
He's getting out doing his check.
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dickie. I'm so sorry. Real quick. So whenever I kind of did this same thing in night shift, but whenever you repeat somebody else's role, it'll just be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not looking for anything else. I just want to look at it.
You're solid. You're solid. I'm just letting you know why the disadvantage. It's not anything you did or anything. Dickie, go ahead, and then I'll handle your luck here in a second, Sheriff. Same place?
Disadvantage just because he just ain't that smart. That's what it is. So I'm going to walk over to Shooter because I can still visibly see my partner in crime is a little twitchy, a little nervous. So you doing all right, Shooter? You look like you've seen Martha naked.
Buddy, I was digging through that dump. All of a sudden, I jerked that snake up out of there. Son, eyes got white as saucers. I don't know what it was. It was just one of them. You know how I am about snakes. There's just something weird about that one.
Any shooter, it's not a snake, so ain't no need to be upset.
It ain't a snake.
It ain't a snake.
What is it?
It ain't from this world.
What are you thinking it is? What is it? Is it one of them chupacabras?
I don't know. But there's something smells like government here. This here's gonna be a great episode from Coast to Coast.
Oh, buddy, I can see her now. Snakes and sparklers, the only things we like.
I got some plans, but there were some surveillance devices back up in that oil rig. We're gonna have to try and find them, because there's probably some footage laying around here somewhere, and I bet you it came from that hot-ass scientist.
You know, I got to thinking whenever we first pulled them over, they had all that recording equipment. They didn't just have it for nothing. I had it in my head. I was going to steal one of their tapes and couldn't get a chance to do it. Plus, I don't think we got one of them VCRs anyway.
We'll find it.
We'll have to find us a VCR for sure. But I
It's
appreciate
actually-
you looking out
it's-
for me, Bubba.
It's actually beta.
It's actually beta.
Perfect.
I appreciate you looking out for me, Dickie.
Who do you know?
You making a good sheriff out there. Don't let them tell you no different. You a good deputy.
I step out of the truck, take
Bobo
another
comes
big
to life.
swig. Woo! Bobo, you came to life, buddy. Here, have some shine. And I give him a little bit more shine, and I take a big swig myself. And I look around, and I look back at Shooter, and I look back at Dickie, and I'm like, hey, didn't y'all do a Ghost to Coast on how tracks just disappear? All the different ways that they can disappear?
Do the check. Yeah, I know what you're using. You're using that, I've heard this story before, Bill.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the check is, though, off the top of my head.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah, that's what it is.
Go ahead.
Woo!
Or how do you want to use that luck? You want to bank it or turn it into a success?
Let's go ahead and... I can bank one, right, and still turn it into success with that talent, right?
It's two successes requires it to change your luck into.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's just turn this into a success then.
All right, so
but
I need a minute.
to be honest,
I just need a minute.
It may be hazy or whatever.
No, it's
'cause-
definitely going to be hazy because you, yeah. How do I want to do this? So, you recall a story. Here we go. Now I got it. You recall a story that was on Ghost to Coast about a government agent who worked for the CIA, right? And one of the things that they did is that they would drive, they would go right past the street, they would back up, and then they would push all of their tire tracks, but just a little bit past the road. So it made it look like they vanished, picked up by a UFO. And that's what everyone believed. But then the secret came out on how they did it. And so, if a careful person sweeps up in front of the tracks, it just leaves a little bit of tracks coming off the road, but then they can just take the road. They're not leaving any tracks behind. Damn CIA and the fake UFOs and the fake moon landings. They did the same thing with the moon landing.
So, that's kind of what I recall back to them. And I kind of get down low to the ground, and Bobo's now like sitting beside me, and I'm like all the way down, like on my stomach, looking at these like where this track ended, and then I crawl forward, and I'm like, fellas, I think the tracks just continue on this way, and I point in the direction that I think it could be.
So you think that they probably backed up and went onto the road either east or west, and that's where it becomes impossible to tell. But you know from your stories and whatnot, you believe, at least it's hazy, right? There's a chance that it could just be the wind. I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened, right? Because it is an ability and it does have that haze with it. Your best guess, though, is that they got back onto the road. And you don't know if they went east or west. But you don't believe, at least from your knowledge, that they went south.
Yeah, so that's what I say is as I point both ways.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, they went one of these ways. I mean, we all know there's only one road in town. So, I mean...
Oh, well, I don't think we're going to be finding the doc then.
What do we do with this thing, Sheriff?
GM, is there any, like, thinking about my collective, knowledge of everyone in the town, is there anyone in particular that would know a lot about animals and wildlife?
Well, Doc White's been known to look at a horse from time to time. There are a few horses in town. He's a medical doctor, but you got to have a bio background to do that. So, yeah, he might know.
I think we should take this thing over to Doc White and see what he can tell us about it. We need to be prepared. Need to know how to put these things down.
Well, let's hope he's sober this time. This time of day?
Yeah, and it is starting to get a little late in the day. It's starting to get towards evening. Dusk is starting to kind of settle in. Still light. So you guys heading to Doc White's?
I vote for Doc White's.
Yeah.
I don't trust no doctor if he ain't a little bit of drunk.
Sounds like you had a little bit too much shine there, JoJo.
I ain't had enough, if you ask me. Bobo says the same thing.
So you getting back into the truck there, JoJo?
Yeah, JoJo's gonna hop up in the truck and say, "Now, Jessup, I got more of that milk here. You want some of that possum milk? I got more of that milk. I'll trade you for some more shine."
You help yourself. Just not too much now. I got more back at the trailer, so just go easy. We ain't got any more left in here in the car, in the pickup, in the cab, except what's in that box.
The minute that you get back into the car, JoJo, Bobo shits himself. and goes back into dead mode.
Bobo, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What have you been feeding that thing,
man.
JoJo?
A little bit of shine and a lot of fruits and apples and chips. Well, at least that's what I thought they were. I mean, it was out of, Martha's trash can, so I don't really know.
Oh, Lord. So you all pile into your vehicles and head up to Doc White's as dusk begins to settle in and things begin to get just a little bit dark. Now, Doc White's kind of stands as a beacon in the night because it actually has outdoor lights and the house is lit up and the garage. This is the definitely, if not the nicest town, the top runner for the two nicest houses in town. Oh yeah, were you feeding Bobo bologna pie?
Bologna pie. That sounds amazing.
Good old bolognas.
Yeah.
Bologna.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did feed him a pickled bologna pie the other day. That may be the reason why he's so gassy.
So, since God has abandoned this stream, I am also leaving now. All right. So you drive up and you see the house. There's the house. It's lit up. It's brilliant. It's bright.
Pull up to the drive, hop out, walk up to the door, ring the bell.
Great. As we're walking up real quick, I would just say, hey, boys, y'all know of anything going on over at Martha's trailer? She got a discount or something? Because as we drove by, she had a whole herd of people outside.
I don't know, maybe she's got a sale on or something.
Yeah, it's probably nickel night at the Bologna Flap House. I don't know.
The Bologna Flap House. Oh, God, save me from this.
He's up
Right.
there jumping in the holler and talking about Jesus, and them basset down ears was a clapping. I don't know.
You ring that bell. Knock on the door.
No response.
Looking through the windows.
Nobody inside.
The lights are on.
Back to the house.
The lights are on.
Open the door. Is it unlocked?
It's unlocked.
Doc? Doc, you in here?
No response.
I just continue inside and start looking around for him.
Nobody inside.
How many stories to this place? 2-story?
It's a double wide.
It's a double wide?
Do I see
All right.
anything out back?
Son, he got big money.
Do a smarts check there, Dickie. How you want to do it? What do you want to do with that luck?
It takes 2 to turn it into a success, right?
Yep.
Can I use the one I have banked?
No.
Then I'll bank it in my own.
You can have more than one in your bank. Most people can only have one unless they have the full talent that allows them to have more.
Oh, then then I'll put it in the group because I already have one in the.
Okay.
my own.
Dickie, you hear music outside.
What kind of music, J Dubs? Because is it a hoedown?
It's Johnny Cash.
Johnny, get your shine.
It sounds
Okay,
muffled.
do I see? What's that?
Sounds muffled.
Muffled. Like in what direction?
With only one success? You don't know.
So I'm kind of looking around and I shout out, "Hey Doc, you out here?"
No response.
I'd call for somebody out front if anybody's still outside. And you all out here? You hearing that, Johnny Cash?
Can we hear
I'd
him
walk-
shouting?
Yeah? You can hear him shout. You hear that?
Good
train?
Walk around back to see what the commotion's about. But would I, just kind of knowing the people in the town, have any idea where else the dock might be?
Garage.
Now, is
He has a barn. Sorry, one sec, Jessup. He has a barn that he keeps. It's basically like where his little doctor's office is.
okay.
Jessup, you were
I
going to say
would
something?
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Okay.
Where his office was.
Yep, barn. The garage. It's basically a barn-shaped garage.
All right, go check that out.
So you,
Hey,
you
Jessup, why don't you pull your truck up to the barn over here?
Makes sense, Sheriff. All right, I'm on it.
So you two pull over there. You head inside the garage. Nothing. I mean, the garage itself is empty except for normal stuff. You can see that he had planned on doing some farming here. He wanted to grow agave, so he has all his farming utensils hanging up on the wall, nice, neat, orderly. And then there's the office that's in the back.
Sheriff, you here? Sheriff! Not Sheriff, sorry, Sheriff. Doc! Doc
No.
White!
No response.
I start walking around the barn and stuff like that. And does Bobo come back?
Well, the minute you get away from the truck, Bobo starts moving again.
Okay, so Bobo hops up and I say, "Bobo, go look around, see if you can find Doc White for us." And so I kind of like set him down on the ground, let him go run, see if he can find anything.
Do a smarts check for looking, so you can use your appropriate ability.
Oh, okay. All right.
How you want to use that luck?
Let's turn it into success, baby.
So, Bobo, shit-covered Bobo, kind of starts meandering over towards Dickie, and he's kind of wandering. Bobo's wandering around, and he kind of digs at the ground for just a second, and then he just keels over and fakes dead again, or maybe he actually died. You don't know.
Bobo,
Do I see-
what are you doing? Dickie, what'd you do to Bobo?
I didn't. He just stepped by my foot and then he keeled over after he started digging in the sand.
And so I kind of like bend down and like
The
pick
music
Bobo
gets
up.
really loud as you bend down.
I'm gonna sit
As I
Yo-Yo
bend
as he
down.
bends over.
It's loud. Whenever you get closer to the ground, it gets loud.
Hey, Dickie, you got a radio in your ass? What the hell? I hear music down here.
It's the plate. It might be getting a signal. So if I turn my head, it might stop. Did it stop?
No.
You got Espen in there?
Hey,
And
does anybody
listen.
know if the doc's got an underground bunker?
I put my ear to the ground.
It gets louder.
So, do
Hey.
I?
Ted, you said something? I'm sorry.
Do I know if he has a bunker?
He does not. You know, proper permitting and everything has to be done on these types of things, and Doc has not filed any type of a permit with the local sheriff.
Well, if he's got a bunker here, it's not legal.
Sheriff, ain't nobody tell you anything. You're the sheriff. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right about that, Dickie.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but if something got dragged down underground, it might have had a radio.
Then, but
Well,
I'll start
that's-
digging in here, this here hole. We want to check around the house area for evidence of possibly a door underground.
That'd be helping Dickie start digging right where the sound is.
I would look and see if there's any shovels in the garage.
There are.
Okay, so I get them a couple of shovels.
So you all are digging for, I don't know, a minute whenever somebody hits something metal.
Shooter, you hit it.
What the hell?
So as I'm sitting here digging, I hit something. I'm like, boys, I got something, and I'm just kind of like shaking it away and trying to like dig, kind of like taking the shovel and turning it around sideways and kind of cutting like a circle around it, trying to loosen up the dirt around.
You start loosening up the dirt, and that's whenever light starts shining out from the ground below you.
There is gold in them there hills.
We found Jesus.
She loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly. And I'm just digging around this thing.
It's a headlight,
A headlight.
and it's facing upwards.
So as we get to digging, like, do I dig? Like, I want to dig like away from the headlight, looking to see if like maybe there's like a grill or something.
Yes, there is.
Do we recognize the vehicle? Sheriff,
Yes.
Sheriff, come here.
Oh, is that the doc's truck? We need to dig him out of there. I'd grab a shovel myself and actually start helping at that
So
point.
yeah, we immediately start getting at it, just digging as fast as we can.
So
Does Doc have like a backhoe or something like that to
Doc does
carry
not have
around
a,
horses?
If you want to spend all 8 luck, I will let you have a backhoe.
No.
But Sheriff Bucky Singleton, he's got one of them there bulldozers.
How far away is he from here?
That would be in the Rex.
Let's
Okay.
see. Was a bobcat invented in 80? No.
Sure, bobcats. Of course we had bobcats.
Sheriff,
Well-
you want me to take your here Jeep and go get that bulldozer?
That's a good idea, Dickie. You go do that. We'll keep digging.
Jessup,
Yep.
Jessup, I'm gonna need a little bit more of your shine. If this thing don't start up, we gotta kickstart it.
Do I have any more shine?
Sure. I mean, most of it's been either inside of somebody's gullet and it's been processed into urine, but you probably still got like 2 jars.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
So you're looking down at the grill, like you are looking straight down at the grill and the headlights of this car or this truck.
I would immediately start digging where I would think the windshield would be, just digging it out, seeing if he's in his truck.
Dickie, are you heading out to go get the bulldozer?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's put you here. So you start digging where the windshield would be and you hit it. You start clearing it off, and it looks like the whole back end of the cab, not the bed, but the cab was ripped off. And there is blood everywhere.
But nobody. As I start digging around, like I would assume we're probably down in a hole at this point, just kind of digging through, and I'd be looking up like, somebody give me a flashlight, fetch me a flashlight. And I'm digging and digging and digging, and then I would assume somebody probably had one in a truck, and I grabbed the flashlight and I'm shining. Sheriff, we got blood, lots of it. Half his truck's missing.
Everyone that's still there, sorry Ted, 1 second. Everyone that's still there, do a smarts check to hear something.
Would I still be afraid or no?
Yes, you didn't pass your roll. So I need to know where everyone is right now. So I got Shooter in the hole. Jojo, where are you?
Shooter in the hole.
Jojo would have picked Bobo up after everybody started coming to dig, and he's just like standing around watching.
Okay, so you're outside of the hole. Ted, where are you? You were digging, right?
Probably on the edge of the hole, because I would have gone and gotten the flashlight and then tossed it down to him. So I probably like about to climb down in there, looking down in, seeing what he's looking at.
Jessup?
I'm looking over, peering over the edge, got my hands on my knees.
So Ted, Jessup, and Jojo all do a wits check.
Come on, baby.
I'm gonna spend
Public bank luck.
I'm gonna spend my bank luck on this.
Jesus.
I'm gonna use 2 of those luck for success and put the other one in the community bank.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
bank
so-
that 1 luck that I had.
Personal bank or group bank?
Group bank.
So, for Jojo, you what happens next? You maybe you were just on the right side of the pool or whatever. Or maybe Bobo gave you a warning because Bobo was coming back, and then all of a sudden Bobo just went again, right? And just shit down the front of your bibs once more. Jessup, you take 1 point of damage. Sheriff Ted, you take 2. So you guys are standing around this hole, and then all of a sudden you don't really notice it coming, but this thing just erupts out of the ground, and it's got these massive jaws, and it's huge. It's bigger than the truck around. It has these massive jaws that look nothing like the snake thing that you found. And it knocks both Jessup and Ted into the hole. Jessup, you managed to kind of scamper and kind of hold your footing. But all 3 of you are in the hole. Jojo, you managed to stay out. Sheriff Ted, you kind of flop down and get banged up a little bit.
Wait,
So,
which way did it come from? Did it come up the hole?
it came, so you guys are standing at the edge, right?
Yeah.
And so it came basically up like this and kind of ejected out. And so now it's slammed down with its head basically at that hole where the 3 of you are located in, with those massive jaws. And you all 3 are in the hole.
Holy shit. Now, I'm not going to be armed. My shotgun's in the
You got a
pickup.
shovel?
I wouldn't have had it. I got a shovel.
You got a shovel?
All right.
So,
all right. Gotcha.
you guys basically are, we don't have combat, like, per se anymore. Like, for this, it's all going to be on you guys what happens. I am not going to roll against you. You guys are going to roll things, and if you fail, bad shit happens. You succeed, good stuff happens. And depending on what you're trying to do, depends on how many successes it takes. So, you guys declare in whatever order you want. You do whatever order you want as long as everyone gets their turn.
So I would say, since I was already afraid whenever that happens, my first instinct would be to kind of like hide my eyes for a second. So I would probably be out for the first round. Or at least be the last one to go kind of thing.
let's do a strange check there.
I have my quick draw skill. If assuming that shotgun didn't, fly off of me that I had on my shoulder, I would use my skill to quickly pull that up to my shoulder and fire a shell off at the side.
Let's do a luck check.
Okay.
See
Oh,
if,
also,
you got banged up.
I have Lumsley covert. So at the beginning of a combat encounter, I can roll the highest. I can roll a luck check CR equal to the highest CR enemy in combat, and if I succeed, then I begin the encounter in stealth.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. Ted, you're on your back. You can still do the quick draw, but you're on your back.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
And you're going to shotgun this thing.
So I'll,
Yes.
you want me to just roll
Roll
luck
the dice.
afraid?
Yes, please. Okay, shoot. Oh, nice. Okay, so it doesn't see you.
Okay, and then I'll roll the strange for the scare.
Yeah.
And afraid as well. 1 luck. I'll put that in the community.
Okay. So you are still afraid, and you will go last.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second here. I don't remember what I was doing. What was I doing? Oh, luck pool. Party resources. So, Sheriff, you're just so startled by this thing popping out and how fucking big it is that your shot goes wide. Actually, that's a lie. It doesn't go wide. It impacts it, but it hits it on the side, and it almost seems to bounce off.
All right. After that, I would just roll over and start trying to scramble up out of the hole.
Okay. Jessup, what are you doing?
Getting the hell out of this hole.
Which check?
Hold on, sorry, I was on the manual.
It's okay.
Come on, baby.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah.
So, you do a kung fu flip out of the hole, right? Like you just, you hit the ground. You hit the ground. You basically run across the grill of the truck and then right up the other side. Your success is so strong that I will let you pull 1 person out of that hole.
And who was in there with me? It was the sheriff and
Shooter.
Shooter.
Somebody's about to find out who their friends are.
And the sheriff just shot at him.
Yep.
And what was it? What are you doing, Shooter?
I was currently hiding because as soon as it popped out, I stealthily hid myself because I was afraid.
I grabbed Shooter.
So Shooter, you and Jessup are out of the hole. Jojo, did I take care of you yet? Is Jojo there?
No, you didn't. Not yet.
What are you doing, Jojo?
So would I need to see if I'm afraid at this point?
No, you're fine.
Okay. So I like step back and I like place the Bobo down like on a table nearby or something. And I'd look for the nearest thing that I can, like a shovel, a pickaxe, a hoe, something.
Martha's not there.
Martha. Yeah, I was about to say Martha's gone.
Okay, so what are you doing? You grab it. There's plenty of tools sitting around. What are you doing with it?
So I'm kind of like taking on the offensive and I'm like going around this thing because this thing's head is like right here staring at me, right? Like,
well, so you are on the rim of the hole. It has breached up out of the hole and basically its head is down kind of like, can you see my hands? I don't know if you can see
yeah.
it. Like this. So, and it just got shot by the sheriff. So you guys are up on the rim. Its body is definitely outside of that hole, but its head is kind of inside of that hole.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and poke this thing in the eye with something.
There's no eyes. It has no eyes.
Oh, well then I'm gonna smack it with whatever I got in my hand. Like I'm just gonna try and do something.
Okay, go ahead and roll grit. What do you want to do with that luck?
Let's make this a success.
Okay, so you grab a pickaxe and you slam it right into the body, right? So you with the spike portion of it. It screeches and it flails out. I need you to do a wits check.
Question, is this trying to avoid a potential hazard or trap or?
Not a hazard or a trap. This is more avoiding an attack.
Okay. Oh, shoot, I should have used that instead then. So whip.
Jojo, you take 4 points of damage. So this thing thrashes out and smacks into you really hard with its head, right? And it sends you flying ass over appetite. And then it sinks back down into its hole. Dickie, you're driving to go get the Bobcat, right? So do a wits check. So what do you want to do with that luck?
We'll bank it.
Okay.
To the
Is it a big pool? Wow, that big pool is starting to get pretty fucking big. So do a grit check now.
Okay.
Okay, so oh wow. Okay, so you're a bright young man by the name of Dickie Bennett. Very smart man, very cunning hat. Especially whenever the shitter gets clogged. So you're driving, right? You have no idea what's happening up there at Doc White's, and then all of a sudden your truck, Jessup's truck with the broken 8-track is set spinning at into a roll. So it literally goes from this to slamming into the cab, flipping over, but you, sir, are a bright young man who put his seatbelt on. Nothing happens to you. Maybe it was Jessup's truck that was just it was actually built out of steel or something, right? There's no crumple zones on this thing. You literally are upside down in this thing with your seatbelt on going, well, that sucks. What are you doing?
Well, as I take the ride in this metal truck from the 1980s, and it goes ass over appetite, I'm shouting, yeah! Thankfully,
so
Mama
you are
taught me best, and we take safety seriously here, okay?
You
so
are
now that I'm upside down.
Yep.
Is anything else going on around me after that happened?
Do a wits check, or I'm sorry, smarts check. I'm so used to wits being a wits, not a dexterity. No idea. All the blood's rushing into your head.
So I'm gonna get out of this truck because I kind of have a, the truck don't just flip like that naturally. But I am getting out, but I'm getting out cautiously.
You hear a noise approaching you, but you're not sure the direction from which it's coming. From which it's coming from. To which... Anyways, you have no idea.
Dude, what kind of noise is it that I hear?
rumbling. Feels like the ground is shaking.
I know I just ate, so it ain't my stomach. So, if I'm hearing this rumbling, I'm kind of looking around. Is the truck shaking at all? Am I shaking?
Look, the everything around you is kind of shaking.
Whole lot of shaking going on.
I'm gonna climb up on top of that truck.
Do a wits check. How do you want to use that luck?
We'll do it into another success.
So, you hop up onto this thing, right? And you see one of those kind of mounds in the ground, It kind of circles where you were and it comes back, and you start to feel the truck vibrating like crazy, right? And it starts to sink into the ground. And so now I need to go back over. So this thing is sucked back into the ground, you four. We got Ted still in the bottom of the hole. The rest of you three up atop of the rim. What are you doing?
Where's the nearest? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So Shooter, now that he gets pulled out of the hole, first thing he does is he runs to the truck and
the Jeep.
Runs to the Jeep. Or actually, it would be the Jeep.
Because Jessup's truck's gone.
I was about to say. So that being said, we don't have our equipment that we had in Jessup's truck, do we?
Nope.
And that's an 8-track player I'm not going to see again anytime soon.
I was thinking about 2 quart jars that we could have used with a rag that I was going to get out of a shed, but that's fine. So I would immediately try to get Sheriff out of the hole. Now that it's back burrowed, before it comes back again, I want to get him out of the hole.
Grit check. Before you roll that, as long as Ted would accept help out. Ted, would you accept help out?
I'm probably actively trying to climb out right now.
Okay, good.
Oof.
So, you kind of reach down into the hole and help Ted out. Ted, you're gonna have to use your action to get out of that hole. Do a roll, but you'll definitely make it out. But Shooter could have saved you having to do a roll at all to get out of there. So you trying to get out, Ted?
Yeah.
Go ahead and do a wits check.
Okay.
Unless you got something else you want to use instead.
No, nothing for this. Wow.
I should have said grit, huh? So, you go ahead and do me a luck check.
We still got all that banked luck, by the way.
So, you're scrambling out of the hole, right? And you end up getting out. Your shotgun falls off of you. You had it. It falls out of your hand. It's on the ground, sitting at the rim instead of in the hole. But it is on the ground right now. But you get out of the hole. So Ted, Shooter, JoJo.
So JoJo kind of gets up and he's like very he looks paler than normal after getting thrown back like that. And JoJo has an ability called Bumbling Presence. So at the beginning of my combat turn, if I'm engaged in a brawl with an enemy that you're brawling with, I roll a luck roll. And if against the CR of the enemy that I'm engaged with, if I'm successful, I can escape without granting the enemy an attack action.
So you're not actively engaged in a melee at this moment.
Okay.
So you can
All
move
right.
you can move without it getting a free attack against you.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go straight for that pickaxe again, and be like, "You come around here, scare my possums, damn it!" And I'm gonna try and attack it again.
So right now it has sucked itself back into the hole. But what we can do is we can hold your action that if it pops back up, that you can get a free attack before it does.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna pick up that pickaxe again, and I'm just gonna hoist it over my head.
Okay. Jessup.
I head for the shed. I'm looking for anything we can use as far as, light this thing on fire.
Okay, wits check. Or I'm sorry, smarts check. Fucking hate the names of this game. Smarts check. How you want to use that luck?
One success.
So you go running into the barn / doctor's office, and you notice a lot of farming implements, right? Like there's a lot of farming implements. There is a for the generator that he has, there is a 2-gallon jug of gasoline sitting.
That'll
next to
do.
it.
That'll do.
You go and grab it, and it's almost empty.
Can I pour one into the... Oh, you said it's 1 to gallon jug.
Yeah, it's 1 2-gallon jug. It's fairly empty. 1 success only gets you a fairly empty. There's some in there though.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Good enough. I'll take it.
So we got Ted with his shotgun on the ground. We got Shooter with his trying to help Ted out of the hole. We got JoJo poised and ready to attack with the pickaxe, and we got Jessup inside of the barn. JoJo, do me a smarts check, which would be your luck. You can do your luck check with this. So you see this telltale hump kind of starting to circle around and come back towards where Shooter and Ted are. You can try and hit that hump, or you can try and wait for it to come out. Maybe if you want, JoJo, it's up to you.
Can I shout out a warning to Shooter and Ted?
That would take your attack action, but sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And be like, get out of the way! It's right behind you.
Shooter, Ted, do a wits check for getting out of the way of this thing. Wow, Shooter.
that was at afraid status too, by the way.
Nice. You're no longer afraid.
Understand, no longer afraid.
You diving out of the way of this thing as it's about to rear back up and try and swallow you whole. Ted?
Snatch up that shotgun off the ground and
whoa, Ted, no. Ted, do a wits check.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're trying to dodge out of the way this thing's coming up.
Gotcha. Okay. That's going to be a success.
Okay, so Shooter, you dive out of the way and every life is perfect. Like you're 10 ninjas, right? Ted, this thing comes out of the hole, you dodge, or it comes up out of the ground again. You dodge out of the way, but it manages to clip you with its mouth. You take a point of damage. Now, let me go back to Dickie. Dickie, this thing's it's starting to suck down into the ground.
Oh, come on.
Shai Halud has returned.
There goes my pickup. She was paid off and all.
What are you doing, Dickie?
Justin, you didn't happen to have a lighter in your truck, did you?
He ain't there.
I didn't happen to see a lighter in his truck, did I?
Do a smarts check. No chance to produce luck on this one. Yeah, you know that there's one in the cab. It's unfortunately it's face down, getting sucked into the ground.
No.
If you want to spend some luck, I would say that it fell out. Let's see what do I got? What do I got for luck spends? Hold on, we got stuff. We got numbers for this. Luck pool spends. So I would say for you to have that lighter show up miraculously in your pocket, you were getting ready to go, and you're like, I think once I get back to the trailer, I'm going to smoke me a bit of the grass, right? To have it in your pocket would cost 5 luck points.
Y'all okay with that?
Fine by me.
Do it.
Okay.
Ted, are you okay with it? Did Ted just say fuck you?
Ted?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. I said yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so Dickie, you were going to smoke some grass once you got home, right? You got that lighter in your pocket though, so it's there. It's a nice Zippo. Probably has an engraving on it. Jessup, what would the engraving on this Zippo say? 8 tracks for life.
Works for me.
There you go.
I pull out this Zippo, and I kind of look at it, and you can hear taps playing in the distance. And I pull out my only surviving, jar of Jessup's Finest. I take a sip myself. Oh, that's some real stuff. And I would kind of rip part of my shirt off, right, and stuff it down in, and kind of screw the cap on just a little bit. And once that cloth is wet, I would light it, jump off the truck, throw it underneath where that thing is going.
Okay. Let's make this 2 different rolls. So let's do a smarts check and then a wits check followed up on it.
Okay. And then is the smarts just for putting that together?
To put it together. Yep. Okay, that's good.
Okay. And then wits, you said?
Yep.
Okay. With the wit, can I use my luck dice?
So you would subtract 1 from your luck pool, and then you add 1 regular die. Skill die. Yep. So it'll be down at the bottom. I think that's the way Seth has it set up.
Okay.
1 skill die. Yep. Oh.
Fuck.
Do another wits check.
No skill die?
No skill die. Okay, you're lucky on that one. So for the second one, I'm not letting you have that luck. What do you want to do with that first luck? You want to put it back in your pool or the big pool?
No, I'll put it back in the big pool.
Okay. So, you jump off of this thing, you light up your Molotov, and it immediately catches, right? You did a good job of putting everything together, right? So it's a really good, well done thing. You chuck it under there, and you immediately hear this screeching, like, just ear-piercing noise. The way you threw it, though, it basically hit the steel truck. Most of it went underneath to where this thing is, but some of it bounced back onto you and caught you on fire. So you end up taking a point of damage from that, but it goes out.
Okay.
So mark that point of damage up. All right. So let me go back to the other side. All right. So we have Shotgun Sally just got nipped by the mouth. We have Shooter was trying to help him up. Jessup is in the shed with a gallon of gas. We'll say a gallon of gas. I guess that's a good way to do it. And JoJo has just shouted a warning. Who's going first and what are you doing?
I would assume that since Ted was going after his shotgun in that same motion, probably the mouth is coming out. I'm running at it, and I'm going to try to, like, javelin stab the head with this shotgun to try to give him the time to scoop up the shotgun.
You mean with the shovel?
Oh, yeah, with shovel, yeah.
I was going to say, you shoot shotguns, right? You don't actually
that's what I said. I was gonna javelin stab him with the shovel so that way he could scoop up the shotgun.
You said javelin stab him with the shotgun. I know,
Absolutely.
I'm messing with you. All right, go ahead and roll grit.
Grit. Oh, nice.
So you go up and you try to slam into this thing, and it literally just bounces off its hide. Roll 1 skill die. I got it, actually. Nothing happens. You still have a grip on the shovel.
So it pings off, but I'm still holding onto the shovel?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. One second. I just remembered a rule, Sev. You know what rule I remembered?
What?
You don't... Okay, hold on. There we go. So you come up and you slam into this thing, right? You hit it with the shovel, And it immediately reacts to you and just whips its head around and smacks into you, Shooter, doing 2 blunt damage to you.
I didn't think we had any more blunts.
Shooter.
Yes.
Sorry, not Shooter. I was thinking of because Ted is going to shoot, he's Shooter. Ted.
Shoot, shooter.
Yeah, I scoop up that shotgun and I aim at this thing. Is it trying to burrow it down in again, or what is it doing?
It is up onto the ground. It's almost like pulling itself out, and it's like snapping and trying to bite.
I'm assuming it's way bigger than the dead one we found.
Oh, way bigger. And the front end of it doesn't look anything like the dead one.
All right, so I
backside
aim the shotgun at it, and I say, "Now you get out of my town, you ugly son of a bitch!" And I rack the shotgun and shoot it.
Roll it.
And I'm trying to use my taunt skill here at the same time.
Okay.
So that'll get its attention. I have to roll a heart check against it.
You don't need, unless you don't want that to happen. You don't have to roll the heart check. You have the only gun. You're yelling at it. You're shooting it. Its love is now on you.
Okay. I have a couple of taunt things that happen. When you taunt an enemy and draw their attention, they are also weakened for as long as the enemy remains taunted.
Okay. What's that?
That is my enrage talent.
Weakened?
So no, enrage.
No. What does it do to the monster?
Oh, okay. The weakened status. That's, I don't know actually.
I don't think I've ever used weakened before.
It should be on this page in the back that has the statuses on it. If you have the journal entries that were in here, it's in the rules reference, I think. Effects. Weekend. Target CR decreases.
Okay,
by 1.
cool. All right. That is actually pretty useful for what you're doing. Okay. Go ahead and roll the wits attack.
All right.
I actually completely forgot about a couple of things. Some of the rules are coming back into my head too, though. That's scary. Sorry.
I'm going to personal bank that luck.
Okay, you personal bank it. So you rack around into your shotgun and you blast this thing straight in the mouth, and you see kind of part of its inside of its cheek blows out the side. And it is not pleased by this whatsoever. Like it is completely enraged. Its mouth is gnashing, and whenever it becomes its turn, it's going to be coming for you. But you did a significant hole to it because you shot it through the front. Okay.
Right.
Jojo, go ahead, or Jessup or Jojo.
Okay, I guess Jojo is going to swing his pickaxe down on it.
Okay, go ahead and do a brawl check. Or
While he's doing
grit.
that. While he's doing that, am I able to use my move part of the action also?
Yes. Yes.
Is there any solid ground or any way off the ground other than like climbing on top of Doc's house or something like that?
Doc's house, you have the Jeep, you have the shed that has a concrete floor.
Okay. I'd try and run over to, I'd be heading towards the shed, towards the concrete floor, and
Actually,
hopefully it still follows me.
I gotta do one more thing before you take off running though. So as you're watching this thing, you shoot it, right? It kind of shudders all over for a second, right? And then it throws up. And it like throws up all of this dirt. It just comes out of its mouth onto the ground. And then you run off. Where are you running to?
Towards the shed.
Okay. Jojo, you're going to try and hit it. Grit check.
Okay. Do I need to do this with a disadvantage since I'm weakened now?
No. We're doing hardcore or non-hardcore rules.
Oh, okay.
You're basically good until you're dead. Okay. 1 second. Oh, buddy. Okay, so you hit this thing, right? And it's weakened for everybody, right, Sev? It's a weakened status. Okay.
As long as it remains taunted.
Okay, so it is taunted because it's going to come after you. So you embed your spike into this thing again, right? And it rages out. Its head turns and it smacks into you, Jojo, and sends you flying almost 60 feet away. You take 2 blunt damage as you hit the ground. Like, basically, you just got sent flying and slammed into the Jeep.
Okay.
So you take 2 blunt damage, and you are long distance away now.
All right.
Jessup? Jessup? Jessup, you dead?
Mike's not working or something.
Jessup, turn your mic back on.
Yeah, still can't hear you.
Rip Jessup.
Roll the technical difficulty screen.
Yeah, too much shine. Now he can't talk.
While Jessup tries to figure that out, let's handle Dickie down yonder. Or up yonder.
Oh, yeah? Is that how you want to word that?
Let's handle...
Phrasing.
Hey, what? It ain't phrasing if that's what you meant.
Yeah, let's handle Dickie down
Let's
here.
handle Dickie down
He
yonder.
likes to handle old Dickie.
Handle old little Dickie down here.
Little Dickie Bandit. All right, so Dickie, you're you put yourself out. That thing is kind of burrowed down. The truck is no longer sinking into the ground. What are you doing?
I'm literally standing still.
You see a mound kind of hump around, and it moves. It's moving. It's circling your area in a big, wide kind of search.
Test.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, Jessup.
What the hell was that?
I'll get you.
Yeah,
I'll get
sorry,
you,
gentlemen.
I'll get you as soon as I finish up with Dickie here. Then.
You betcha.
I try not to shit myself. I'm just watching to see what happens at this point.
So it kind of moseys around. The fire kind of lit up the area. That's how you can see where it's going. But that alcohol burns off and the fire starts to go away. When that fire goes away, you see the truck get flipped over again. It gets snapped up into the air and it kind of flips around for a second and it lands on the ground.
Wheels up.
Do a luck check.
Throwing my dice.
No, on its side.
Okay, I'm still kind of, since I'm out of the way of it, I'm still just kind of standing there. I want to see what this worm's gonna do.
Do another luck check.
My leg. My Dickie leg.
It sends that truck flying over, and this time it's coming directly at you. You got to move out of the way, or you're going to get hit.
Okay, well, I'm diving.
Do a wits check. So you get out of the way, right? I mean, you see the thing coming, but that mound turns directly towards you and starts flying directly towards you.
Am I within reach of the truck?
Yeah.
Is there anything in it that I can grab and throw?
No, it has been tossed around 3 times now. Anything worthwhile has been broken, except for the 8-track player. The 8-track player is now functional.
Is now functioning?
It's not on though. It's functioning. It can work.
Okay. I'm gonna reach in and turn the key and crank that music up and kind of slowly creep away.
Okay, wits check. Yeah, so you reach inside, right? You turn it on, and then you start moseying the other way. That truck goes flying again. Like, it just gets smashed, and that's the thing that breaks the camel's back. It's completely just smashes the inside of the car. The Bon Jovi 8-track goes flying out into the distance with all of the tape just kind of, being pulled from the cassette head. It is dead.
It's a crying shame.
It is. Forloth, what are you doing up there?
I want to set that thing on fire. Do I have anything to light this with?
Your lighter was in the truck.
Son of a... Right, well, still, I'm going to douse this thing in gasoline. I'll worry about the rest later.
So it is breached up, right? And it's kind of it just smacks Jojo across the way. Shooter is... It knocked Shooter over, but it didn't really do too much damage to him. And it's starting to go after Sheriff Ted, who's coming directly towards you, right? He's running towards the shed. Here comes the giant fucking worm out of the ground on top, following along behind him. And you're going directly towards it. What are you doing?
Is its mouth open? Does it have like this huge mouth?
It has a gigantic mouth. Like, it'd swallow you whole if it really wants to.
I unscrew this thing and launch it towards its mouth.
Which check?
Oh, buddy.
You got a pretty mouth.
You got a pretty mouth there, boy.
Yeah!
Jesus.
How do you want to use those 2 luck?
Would it benefit me to make another
Every
success?
single success that you have adds to what happens.
Okay, then another success.
Okay. So, you, wow. All right, so you chuck this thing directly into its mouth, and Sheriff Ted, who is not being given credit in any way, shape, or form. In fact, here's what happens. So Sheriff Ted, right, has 1 round left in that shotgun, and he's tear-assing to get into the shed. You chuck this thing into this thing's mouth, and as Sheriff Ted goes running by, you reach out and snag that shotgun off of his shoulder in one fluid motion while this thing is still in air and shoot the canister, and it blows up into this fireball into this thing's mouth. And it is, the noise and the smell is just absolutely 100% god-awful. As this thing thrashes around, and it's kicking flames up everywhere, and it catches onto the barn, and it catches onto the house. And those 2 things are beginning to catch on fire too, as it starts slamming its head into the ground, and it starts to sink below the surface. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we have to stop for right now. So, at the end of every game, we like to do a little what's going through the mind of the individual player. I wanted to start with you, Jessup, but I'm going to start with Dickie because I know he's got to get to work here in a few minutes. So, let's go ahead and start with Dickie. Dickie, you are out there by yourself in the middle of nowhere, in the dark. You are being hunted by something that moves underground. What's going through your mind right now? You're out of shine, you have a lighter, and that's about it in your hat.
Well, it seems that I am battling one of them there sand sharks, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to apologize several times to Jessup. His truck has been destroyed, and his beloved 8-track, I'm gonna have to find a way to get him a new one.
It's a crying shame.
Like I said earlier,
crying
you can
shame.
hear taps being played in the distance. Anyway, I'm scared shitless. I don't know what this thing is doing. It's like out of vengeance for Jessup's truck, like Jessup's truck cheated on it at some point. I don't know. I'm just trying to survive.
Appropriate music for Jessup's truck. Well, Dickie, let's hope that you survive being out there by yourself in the middle of nowhere with no gasoline or shotguns. So we'll see next time.
Well, yeah, Martha can't run the Whispering Pines.
She might be able to. You never know. Might just have a different name, different kind of atmosphere. So let's move over to the man of the hour, Jessup, the flaming arm of the West.
I got a big ass smile on my face. I'm like, take that, you son of a bitch. And then I remember that I left that notebook in that pickup. But I suppose that'll come to play later.
No, wait, dude, I'm not that kind of GM, am I? Let's move on over to Sheriff Ted Morrison. What's going through your mind right now, Sheriff?
Well, Sheriff Ted is doing mighty fine. This animal popped up here, and we're taking care of it. No big deal. No one's hurt. Back to business as usual soon.
No one's hurt. All right. We'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yeah.
Speaking of no one hurt, Jojo Redman. What's going on with Jojo Redman right now?
JoJo's almost got a limp going on now after being tossed around like a sack of potatoes a couple times. But JoJo's pissed off because this thing is scaring his possums. He's scaring his best buddy Bobo, and he doesn't like nothing that scares his possums. So he's glad to see that this thing's down for now. But he's also worried about the rest of his possums back at the ranch. So.
And then finally, last but certainly not least, Shooter McLean. What's going through your mind here as you get a little punched up, little knocked around?
Shooter is Shooter's just hoping there ain't no more snakes. He got a little terrified, a little jumped. It takes a lot to get him that way, but certain things will. Going to the doc's house, finding out that maybe the doc's gone, then having to fight this land shark's got him all kind of tore up. He's kind of hoping that nothing ever happens to some of the rest of the people in this city. I mean, they're in this little town. There's not a lot of people here, so he kind of has relationships to some degree with all of them, and as much as he might hate some or dislike the others, he don't want to see anybody killed, so he's trying to do whatever he can to kind of help the sheriff get to the bottom of this. That way we can get back to eating angel food cake and simp and shine on the regular instead of fighting these land sharks.
And with that being said, that's going to conclude our broadcast day here for Howdy Y'all. Unfortunately, it's going to be a hot minute before our next Howdy Y'all adventure. There are some huge scheduling conflicts, and we don't want to run a game without everyone being here. So it might actually be 3 or 4 weeks before we can get another game of this, but we will be filling in the intermediary time with. I plan on running at least 1 or 2 games of. Betrayal at House on the Hill, kind of taking the board game aspect, the tabletop anthologies, and we might actually get to see an episode or 2 of Ghost to Coast with our very old Dickie Bennett and Shooter McLean.
That'll be awesome.
Do that. For the rest of this week, today we got Descender to Avernus at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week on Tuesday, we have Star Trek, hosted by Dickie Bennett. As a totally different personality at that point in time, I promise you. Although I would like to see that in the middle of a Star Trek game. That would be kind of interesting.
That's a holodeck program, sir.
Howdy Y'all is a holodeck program with your ship.
More like a never mind.
Holodecky?
It's a Hollow Dickie Bennett program.
Come on now.
Lost the train of thought. Possibly Friday, depending on what Tony's got going on. We may have Curse of Strahd. Star Trek, by the way, 6:30 p.m., right? On Tuesday? Was it 6:30? I'm sorry. 7. And Severian, did you choose whether or not you're going to be able to run anything on Saturday?
I don't know for sure yet, but I'd like to do something. If we don't end up playing a TTRPG, then we'll play some board games and tabletop simulator or something. Have some fun.
Really, what I want to do here, maybe one of these Saturdays, is I want to play either Ghost Watchers or Phasmophobia, but I want us to do it as the night shift. I want to make it a RPG playing Phasmophobia. I want to see Severia go into the house and say, "This is an EMF meter." It's used to register. Is there a spirit here? And then get fucking murked by, Michael in his own home. So, that concludes our broadcast day. Just as a note, I'm going to throw this up here in the chat. Thanks, Severian, for pointing that out. We are affiliates with Parable Games, the creators of Shiver. If you want to get a discount on any of the Shiver game books, follow that link and you get a 5% discount there. And I believe that's all. If you can stick around, we're going to go ahead and do a raid. And we appreciate you being out here and joining us for another episode of Howdy, y'all. So, until next time, y'all come back now, you hear?